Welcome to Trail Manners, the podcast so dedicated to mountain trails and running that they broadcast out of a 78 Volkswagen bus in the mountains. Who does that? Eric and Joel are your hosts and will bring you the trail life as you may have not heard it before. You hear about everything from gear reviews, nutrition to keep you upright and moving forward, and they'll even bring guests into the bus for conversations that you won't hear anywhere else. It's time for some running adventures on a higher elevation. The old 78 Volkswagen bus is fired up and headed to the mountains. Here are your hosts for Trail Manners, proudly representing the 801 with their passion and love for the trails, Eric Manning and Joel Hatch.
Welcome to the Trail Manners Podcast, episode number 37. Today, we're going to be talking to our Western Rockies tech rep for Salomon and Suunto, none other than Stephanie Gardner, who is also an ambassador of all things fun. So hope you enjoy the show today. If this is your first time listening, then thanks for coming. The Trail Manners Podcast is produced every week for your enjoyment, and show notes are found at trailmanners.com. Come back often, and please feel free to add the podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Trail Manners. All links are in the show notes. Now let's get after it. All right, welcome back to the Trail Manners Podcast. Big day ahead. Not just that we have a solid guest, but it's where we're at, right, Joel?
That's right.
So where are we? Where are we?
We're back in the bus.
Hey, baby, Studio 78. It's hot.
Oh, it's hot.
The air conditioning in this thing is a door open and the
the door open.
The windows cranked.
Yeah, trying to get on the north side, right?
Yeah,
so that way you get a breeze.
We're at 22nd Street Trailhead in the bus. Studio 78 has been in and out of the shop. It's been touch and go for a few months. Yep. I didn't know if she was going to pull through.
Yeah, but it was a simple fix, really.
Yeah. Okay.
It was.
Yeah,
one
of the simple fixes. So
it wasn't like it was a new engine.
Not yet. Not until someone gives me a new Subaru engine. That's the only thing that's going to change that. So we're back in the bus. It's a beautiful day out. It's getting warm, so we'll get scrolling on this, but we're gonna mix it up a little bit. Instead of jumping into the show, we got some things we wanted to discuss. Right? We're gonna introduce our guest first because our guest has so much to add to some of these topics, right?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
She was telling us, I've got all kinds of beta on that. She goes, I got to jump in on that. So
I never said that.
Yeah. So our guest today is Stephanie Gardner. She lives in Ogden.
Yeah.
Right? So she's O-Town, and she is like an ambassador of fun.
That's right.
Right? Is that the good way to say it?
I think so. We can definitely hashtag that.
So she's the ambassador of fun. She is the Western Rockies tech rep for Suunto.
We just got schooled on that.
And Salomon.
Or scolded.
Scolded is more like it.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to talk about it unless we pronounced it right.
Yeah.
And I was pronouncing it Suunto. Suunto. Jared Gar's toe.
Ooh, you didn't go there, did you?
Too soon.
And she's also a Vespa gang member.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
She's a moped gang member. So we introduced Stephanie. Stephanie, thanks for joining us on short notice in the bus. Sorry we're out of candy when you got here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So we're very excited.
Candy.
Yeah, we're excited to have you on. We got a lot to talk about, kind of get into, stuff about what you do. Like I said, the ambassador of fun. I mean, your Instagram, your Facebook, you always are doing something awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Cram it in there.
Yeah. And you're, and the word ambassador gets used a lot, but there's really not a whole lot you can take, and maybe we'll come up with one someday so we can kind of replace it. But you're an ambassador for a lot of things. So we'll get into those as well. So we're going to put on the brakes.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about a few things. First of all, we apologize. I forgot to wish everybody a happy 4th. Happy birthday, America. Hope everybody had a good 4th. So this will come out a week late.
Right.
But
that's okay.
Happy 4th. And we're gearing up here in Utah because we got July 24th coming up.
Yeah, Pie and Beer Day.
Yep. Or Pioneer Day, as most people call it here. So, we'll get geared up for that. So that's pretty exciting. But let's jump into it. What should we start with? Should we start with the big one this weekend?
Is it this weekend?
Yeah, because this show launches on Tuesday, the 12th, right? And Hardrock is the 15th, 16th.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
See what I'm doing there?
I see what you're doing.
See what I'm doing there?
Yeah, nice.
So we're going to talk about Hardrock a little bit.
All right, let's do it.
So Hardrock 100 depends on who you are. Most people, Western states, is the race.
Yep.
But there is a different spectrum of this sport, and people think Hardrock is the race. So
they're both the race.
They're both the races with an apostrophe in there somewhere, maybe not, for Missy Burkle.
Oh,
You like
nicely
that?
played.
I'm calling out today, people. So pay attention. Your name might get mentioned somewhere. But it's a big one. I mean, there's not just the race itself, but the entrance in this race. It's stout.
It is. I didn't realize so many big dogs were in it.
Yeah, it's stout. Let's start.
Who's in it?
Let's start with the women. I like to start with the women. They've
Yeah.
earned that. They've got, we've got Anna Frost, obviously.
Yep.
So returning champion.
She's been there training.
She's been there training. She won it last year. So she's automatically got to be
She knows the course.
the favorite
Right.
or one of the top couple
Yeah.
favorites. So the other ones in there, Darla Askew. She's done Hardrock 3 times.
Right.
Betsy Kellmeyer's in it.
But how many times has Betsy done it? At least 10?
16.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah, that's more than 10.
Yeah.
So
I mean, but still, that's amazing. 16 Hard Rocks.
yeah,
That's crazy.
that's unbelievable. And then as of today, when this show launched, Darcy, I'm gonna slaughter her name, and I feel bad. Pick you.
Pick you?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Darcy. I should ask you first. But anyway, she is on the wait list, but she's like 3rd
Yeah.
on the wait list. So
Ooh.
she should get in, and she's been training.
Right.
And she's, a couple-time champ. She's around the 4th fastest time there.
Right.
And then there's another list of names because we know at any race, but especially Hard Rock, anything can happen.
Right.
Right? So there's Liz Bauer, Betsy Nye, even Megan Hicks. She's been training.
Yeah.
And she's got some pretty stout stuff under her belt. So there's quite a few women that are doing it that could really pull something off.
Yeah,
so
I think so.
we want to hear, even from our people in our show, you got like 3 or 4 days to comment who you think's going to win. And I'm going to tell you what, if you pick the male winner and you pick the female winner,
What you got for him?
I'm going to have a prize. We'll do a drawing because hopefully more than one person will get it. We'll do a drawing for those finalists, and we'll
All right.
send them some cool stuff. Not just Trail Manor stuff, but maybe we'll throw in a couple things that are
A couple things out of your garage.
new stuff.
Okay.
I got some new stuff in there.
All right.
Not just like a tire jack or
Old T-shirt that you've been using to clean the bus.
Yeah, and that would be pretty cool,
That could
actually.
be, yeah.
I'll sign it.
Yeah.
So that would even be worth more. You frame it, I'll sign it. How's that? But yeah, who you got for the women, who you got for the men. Let's do that.
All right.
So that's the women. What's our input or our take here on the women's side?
You got to give it to Anna, right? She knows the course. She's been training well. I think she's really healthy. I think her head's in the right place, so I'm going to go with her. For the men, well, we haven't even talked.
We'll stay with the women.
Steph, what do you think?
What do you think?
Anna Frost all the way.
All
Okay.
right.
She's
She
my
made
girl.
it easy.
Yeah.
True. You're maybe a little biased on that.
Well, she doesn't disappoint, right?
Yeah.
Good point.
Got
She
that
is
one.
on fire. Yeah, I
is.
think. Yeah, I'm all about that. I think it'll be Anna Frost for sure.
All right.
Yeah, and that'll be fun when we get her on the show. Hint, hint.
Yeah, right.
But no, she is. She doesn't disappoint, and she's ready.
She's a hard charger.
Yeah. So, we're not going to skip over the women, but I think, she's the favorite. If Darcy gets in, I think Darcy is right up there. She's smart. She's always ready
Knows
to
the
roll.
course. Yeah.
Always has a good crew, but there are some other women in there that anything could happen. So let's jump over to the men's side.
Yep.
Okay. So
Right.
thank you, women. Good luck. Enjoy your race in the mountains.
Yeah.
And now on the men's side, it's pretty stout.
Yeah, it is.
So we got this guy. He's got to be one of the favorites. He's pretty new. Killian is his name, I think. So I know a lot of you haven't heard of him yet,
No.
but you will.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. So he's back. And basically, he's going to be hard to bet against, right?
That's so true.
Unless
Unless something weird goes on, like he's abducted by aliens or something.
Yeah.
He's going to do it.
But so you got Killian, and I'm not good with, I apologize, I'm horrible at pronouncing names.
Just say Xavier.
Yeah, from France.
Yeah, Xavier from France.
So he's won UTMB a couple times.
Yep.
So that's got to add some cred.
Right. And he has not run Hard Rock before.
He does. I don't think he has.
All right.
So that's what do you call it?
That's a strike against him.
Yeah, there
Right.
we go. But then on this side of the pond,
Yep.
you've got Jason Schlarb,
Yeah.
right? Troy Howard,
Yep. That's some old school toughness right there.
Joe Grant, who everybody's saying is just ripe and ready, right?
All right.
So you got Joe.
I'd like to see him do well, but just his past performance doesn't indicate that he's going to do it.
Yeah, he's had some issues there, but
Right.
maybe that'll come into it. We also
Right.
have Jeff Browning,
Yeah, fresh off of
Western States.
Yeah.
and
Second, third place, right?
Yeah, I think he was top. I don't know if he was that high.
No?
I don't think
I
so.
thought it was at least third.
I don't know. We didn't do our
Our diligence on that. Sorry, folks.
He was top 20.
No, come
He
on
was,
now.
right?
Well, yeah, but be more specific than
I
that.
think he was top 5.
At least top 5.
Yeah, so he's got to be in there. So
But yeah, he's got to be at least a little bit tired from doing that.
yeah, and he's been recovering. We've seen some photos there.
Yeah.
And then there's a slew of names.
Yeah,
really.
right?
I mean, you've got Ryan Kaiser, Ben Lewis, our main man,
Oh yeah.
our good buddy, Scott Jaime.
Yeah.
But he's training for
That Leadman thing.
Leadman and Tahoe 200.
Oh my gosh.
So,
yuck.
I mean, I think
So this is just a training run.
it is. And I've been noticing he's been doing a lot of bike riding.
He has.
And I'm going to have to call him out on that. Nothing against bike riding, by the way. But
It usually just means like you're injured.
yeah, that's what it is. For an ultra runner, when you see a guy on a bike, you're
Like,
like,
oh,
oh,
bummer."
man, that must be an Achilles problem.
yeah, that's right.
So, and that's just the start. We got Nick Curry. Jamil's on the wait list.
Oh, he is, huh?
Yeah, so
right
he's on the
I
wait
like
list.
Jamil. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he'll do well.
And then, you got some people on there that you not always think. You got like AJW, Brian
Yeah.
Powell. They've been out. Brian's been out there for like 7 years training. It
Oh,
seems
yeah.
like he's been out there a while, a few months training hard.
I'm gonna say Powell's gonna be top 5.
He could pull it off.
Right? If he doesn't take 800 pictures again, he'll be
Yeah.
top 5.
It's so hard though.
Yeah.
And then, we got to obviously give a little shout out to a local guy. That's training
yeah.
hard, Matt Van Horn.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He
Oh,
definitely could
yeah.
be top 5.
He could, because
Right?
he surprised, I think, a lot of people at Wasatch last year.
He's been training hard.
Dude, he was doing like repeats of Lone Peak.
Yeah.
like
Come
a
on.
lot.
Yeah.
And he's still, he's quietly, I think, he's a quiet guy.
He
right?
can be sneaky, right?
Yeah.
He'll sneak up on somebody.
And then we'll give, so that's kind of a good list of people. Ryan Birch, he's in it. Kevin Schilling, some of the names that we've seen from the past. But then we'll just give some good lucks and some shout outs to some local Ogdenites, right?
Yeah. So who from
got-
Ogden's there?
Tom Remkus.
Yeah, old school.
We'll claim Matt Connors, even though he's just barely over the border.
He's Davis County guy.
Yeah, but we'll claim
Trader.
him. We'll claim him. John Wojciechowski.
Yep.
He got in again.
Yep.
So we'll wish all those guys good luck.
Is Corey on the official list? Did you look
Corey
into that?
Johnson, I did, and he is off the list.
All right. So
he's
we
been
assume
injured.
that he'll be down there hanging out, having fun, supporting everybody as well.
But he got hurt.
Yeah, he's got some owies.
So we got to wish all our Ogden boys good luck. But
Right.
So the men's side, you got the top. You got Killian and Xavier, right?
Yeah.
Am I saying it right? Professor X.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just say that. I can't be
sounds pretty
off.
cool.
That does sound pretty cool. So there's your new nickname, bro.
That's right.
So
You're welcome.
You're welcome, right? You get that
Yeah.
hashtag and shirt going, trucker hat.
Yeah.
which
So
we'll
is
talk
that
about.
what you think? Just those are your top 2?
So here's some train of thought. So you've got 2 guys that probably know each other pretty well.
Yeah.
From Europe,
Yep.
and they're both hard charging, smart runners.
Right.
So can this be a scenario? Can you have these 2 guys crush each other and have a guy slip through?
No.
No.
I think Killian's a lot smarter than that. He
think
knows
so?
the course. He can go out there and just have fun and goof off like he has in the past,
And then bring
s-
the hammer down.
and still set a course record, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can be hanging out at an aid station, wait for somebody, so that
Just
way
to run with?
Yeah, so he has some company. So I just don't see him losing.
Yeah. It's hard to say.
I mean, he hasn't been running a whole lot. Maybe that'd be the only thing that's against him. But in the past, this has worked for him.
Well, my social media stalking skills have been pretty on point, and I think he's still in Europe doing like Mont Blanc. And
Yeah, he's
stuff.
been skiing. He's been doing laps on Mont Blanc.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just did a
Double.
like a
double
double.
up Mont Blanc.
Yeah.
Like yesterday or the
Yep.
day before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so
I mean,
he's still out there crushing.
Yeah, on his skis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently he's getting some altitude training.
Yeah, that's not a problem for that guy.
Maybe he'll have jet lag.
That's still this dude's like Superman.
What's his
right?
private jet look like?
It's all racing red.
It's all
really
Salomon
lightweight.
red.
We took the tail off. of
Yeah.
it.
Took the tail off. Changed the tires on it a little bit.
That's right.
All it needs is wings and an engine. It's a hang glider.
Self-propelled.
That's right. That's his training.
So he has to
He's
do
got
with
a
his
little bike
arms.
thing on there.
So I'll
Yep.
be there in a little bit, fellas.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. I guess part of me likes to be.
So who's going to be the first American? Maybe that should be that should be part of our contest. Who's going to be the first American?
There's just too much for me to watch at this point.
Oh,
like
come on
men's,
now.
women's, American,
You
Ogden.
can multitask.
Not very well. I don't have a lot of time on my
Fun
hands.
Saturday.
I don't have a whole lot of time on my hands.
All right. So okay. All right. Let me make an executive decision then.
Okay.
For the contest, who's the first American? Come on now.
Oh, man.
That makes it more interesting.
It does. It does. I mean, I want to say Schlarb. I do.
Yeah.
But
Has Schlarb done the course? Has he done the race?
that's a good question.
Was he part of that group that did the Winter Traverse?
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
So he knows the course, kind of.
He knows what it looks like when it's white.
Yeah.
For sure.
Did you say both Nick and Jamil Curry are running?
Nick is for sure.
Jamil's
on the wait list.
Nick will be up there, right?
You'd think. I mean, those
Yeah.
guys, they're the same. They go out and train and
Like 110-degree heat.
yeah. And so it's really hard when you break it down, and that's why we said this race is a little bit more stout with the people in it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if Scott was focused on Hardrock, I would throw him up there because of his experience.
True.
But I know he's struggled with a few injuries here and there. And,
Sure.
you know, where his focus is. I mean, he's riding a bike again. We'll throw that out there.
Burn.
Jason Schlarb, he was fourth at UTMB,
Yeah.
an hour and a half behind the winners there. One rabbit, one run 100. That's a
Run.
tongue twister.
Run.
In 2013 and 15. I apologize. We left another front runner on the American side out.
Uh-oh.
How did I do this?
I don't know.
It's another
Who?
topic.
You
Timothy Olson.
Oh.
Oh,
Timothy
man.
Olson, and he's run the race, and let's throw this in there. He is on a reality TV show.
He is not?
Yeah.
I just watched the first
American
episode,
Tarzan.
American Tarzan.
What was it? I didn't see it.
He's in
Was it
first
good?
place.
I mean, what was the show like? Was it good?
So there's 7 contestants, and they drop them off somewhere in some ocean, and they go to an island, and I don't remember the island, and they have to go. And this is why it's comical, because I come at it from a running standpoint, right?
Right.
They have to like paddle in. Takes them like an hour to paddle, and they have to go 50 miles.
Oh my gosh.
But it's through a jungle, up mountains. They have to rope climb.
Right.
And there's like, I don't know, there's a lumberjack, a strongman, like that moves tires and
So
stuff.
these are the contestants.
Yeah, and then Timothy. And it's funny when they introduce Timothy, it's like they introduce himself. I'm Timothy. I'm a stay-at-home dad. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
that was lame.
Come on.
Dude, you're a professional runner.
Yeah,
You need
claim
to
it.
own it.
So anyway, he has a good strategy. You know, it's kind of so the first part they have to run and go down a waterfall and go down like 110-foot rope,
Like
and then they have
rappel?
to and then they have to climb vines pretty far.
I saw that little snippet on TV.
and then they have
about
to
that.
go into like the first stage, and it's like the tour. So they come in at a certain stage, and then the next day they leave
Right.
in sequence and time, right? So if you get there an hour before the next person, you leave, and then the person goes after an hour, right?
Oh, really?
So, but it was kind of interesting, and I fell asleep at the end because I was really tired. But you have to, when you get to the first checkpoint, you have to make a shelter. And he basically said, I'm not a survivalist. So he was fashioning a shelter when I fell asleep. So I was
Okay.
tired.
All right.
But yeah, so he's a reality TV show. I think it's on Discovery Channel. American Tarzan. The first episode aired. It's once a week. I don't know how many episodes there are. Obviously, it's pre-recorded because he's home.
Right.
But yeah, he was in first place.
It
All right.
sounds kind of cool, but that name is the
American
worst.
Tarzan. Oh, yeah, it's terrible,
Well, it's
right?
funny, though, because if you look at the name and the contestants, it's like he should win just based on appearance.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because
Because-
he's most apt to be successful across the different challenges, right?
Well,
Well,
I mean,
and
especially
he
when
looks
you-
like Tarzan,
that's
and
what
he
I'm
should be running
saying.
around in a loincloth.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he does do it, without his shirt. He's
Yep.
got his Ultimate Direction pack on. He's got a
right,
buff
which
for his
was
sponsor.
just brilliant
Yeah.
for Ultimate Direction.
Oh, for
they
sure.
they got that in there.
Yeah.
Oh man, those guys are gonna be killing it.
But, he admitted, he goes, my legs are good, my upper body. So when they did the vine climb, he actually did really well.
Yeah, he
But
did.
They have some woman on there, and it's weird. They call her a speed climber, but she introduced herself as like a Spartan racer.
Okay.
And so she's one of the women, and she freaking went up this vine wall in like 26 seconds.
Just crushed it. Yeah.
And all these other people are like, this
Still
poor,
struggling.
the what do you call him? The power lifter looking guy. I can't remember what they call him, but he's funny. He took last in the first stage because he's so big.
Right.
And, he had to go cut through the jungle to cut time because he doesn't run. And all the contestants are running except him. And I feel bad for him. he's strong, but I just don't see this being.
That was like a lost moment, right? Where
Yeah.
they're on the beach and then there's the monster in the forest,
Yeah.
right? Just crashing through the forest,
Yeah.
and you're like, "What is that?"
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry to go off, but yeah, keep
All right, so
it's Timothy, but he's on there.
Let's spin this back around. So Timothy Olsen is on the list.
Yep.
How did we get here?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just fascinating that an ultra runner's on
Yeah.
a reality TV show.
As much as I'd like to see Timothy do well, I just don't think it's going to happen. I think that he just got bit by that, adrenal fatigue. Something's going on with him.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the show. I'm like, no, I think he can win.
No,
I think he can be our
he'll-
American Tarzan.
I think they'll be fine. But as far as the race goes, I'm going to go Schlarb for top American.
And you got Nick Clark. He's been real quiet to me lately because I know
Right.
Nick pretty well, but he's in it. He's got experience and done really well in the past. He's finished, I think, second
Right.
at Hardrock, finished third there. Troy Howard, we mentioned. So there's some other ones I left off. And
Sure.
there's a slew more. I mean, like I
Right.
said, there's not just 7 people running the race.
Right.
So first American, I guess I would go with Schlarb.
All
Just
right.
based on how well he's running right now.
Right.
You see people focus more, so that's where I'm going.
All right. What about you, Stephanie? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't follow.
You're not geeking out like we are on this
Well,
one?
it's too bad. Back when I had an office job, like desk job, I was like geeking out on all the races and results and who's signed up for what, and
Gotcha.
I just don't have time for that anymore.
You're too busy traveling. And
I'm
working.
like living out of this Pathfinder and
Yeah.
listening to French lessons.
The
and
ambassador of fun has
Yeah.
not
and I'm
enough
just
time
booking
for
up
that.
all that fun. I'm embarrassed to say that I don't know, and I'm just like, well, Killian's gonna win it, and Anna Frost is gonna win it, and
And
that's
other than
awesome.
that, you don't care.
And after
Fair
that,
enough.
it doesn't
But
matter.
I know that Sean talks about the Schlarb guy quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sean
so-
being your
my soulmate and
Okay.
significant other.
all right.
And I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Because maybe at some point he's an artist.
He is an artist.
Yeah. He
Yes.
does ceramics.
He is
Does other
Right.
things
a
too.
very
Yeah.
muscly.
Oh, yeah.
Makes
artist.
soap.
Yep. Makes
Makes
soap.
Yep. What else does he do?
He does a
He
lot.
does it all. Like just everything. Every day I'm surprised.
Moped mechanic?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, Renaissance man. I
So-
like him.
Yeah, people call him the Renaissance man. He has a kiln in the garage, a wheel.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
He's just always doing something, making something. Our whole yard is basically a garden. We have a greenhouse. He's always just like,
And you capture the rain to water it, right?
we
if I
do.
remember
Yeah,
right.
and we have some chickens, and it's just.
Oh, see, I'm a chicken farmer, so
Yeah.
yes,
You're
I
a
come
chicken
home and
farmer?
the house and homestead's running smoothly, and then I leave again.
urban chicken farming. That's what I'm into.
Yeah, hipster farming. It's
Hipster farming.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right, so what we got next before we actually dive into the show?
Well, this is something that I'm going to throw over to you because,
Yeah.
I look at me and Joel on this, and Joel's more of the smart guy. Okay,
Well, ease up on that now.
so I'm
I don't wanna be
kind of
accused of
the
that.
non-smart guy. I'm I get distracted easy.
You're the
But-
voice.
But I'm going to let you take the next one because there was some interesting information. This has been out, I think, for a little while, and it's been
Right.
floating around, but it's about Patagonia.
Right, so just happened to be, eating a burrito down at Even Stevens yesterday. And love me some Even Stevens. That place is so good. You ever in Ogden or
Best.
Salt Lake, go to Even Stevens, folks.
Mm.
Great burritos and great sandwiches.
And don't forget the mac and cheese with bacon.
Ooh, I haven't got that far yet. So I was there. I was doing some work, and I just happened to be scrolling through Facebook, and there was an article on Teton gravity research, and basically what they were doing is they were talking about this study that Patagonia had just commissioned, looking at the shed of their fleece wear. So, one of the things that's really big right now is the plastic in the ocean. And they wanted to know how much were they actually contributing through their garments. So they basically had this really nice study that was done. I can't remember what university
I
conducted
think it was
it.
UC Santa Barbara.
Yeah, so they're legit as far as the study goes, and kudos to them for actually putting their money on the line, right? So the outcome of the study was, if you look at the course of 100,000 jackets being washed during a 1-year period, the shed or the stuff that comes out of the washer, that amount of material from the jackets is equal to basically 11,900 plastic bags going into the watershed every year. And that's pretty significant. And I think Patagonia is like, whoa, man, we are really kind of contributing to this problem in the ocean. So what comes out of the study? Well, I think they're going to try to change some of their, well, they're still going to have fleece, but they're going to change how the fleece is maybe held together, which could cause another problem if they're going to put this special coating on it. And then, the thing that they've really been pushing lately is only buy stuff if you need it. And to be honest, that outer layer of fleece, you don't need to wash as much as you think so, right? Because it's not next to your body. It doesn't get as stinky as, say, your under layer. So that was a pretty cool study. If you want to, we'll have a link on the show notes so you can check out the study. It was really well done. And then I think the takeaway is only buy what you need because you are making an impact, whether you believe it or not.
Well, my problem is a lot of stuff on their website I feel like I need.
Oh, yeah, right?
I just can't afford it.
Yeah, you get on there and you start drooling like right away. I mean, their trucker hat's like one of my favorite hats right now.
That's one you have on right now.
Yeah, from Scout Mountain Ultra.
Yeah, that's right. That looks good.
Yeah, that and then one of our Trail Manners trucker hats. Those two are like my go-to hats right now.
Whew, thanks for the shout out.
Yeah,
the Trail Manners trucker hats.
Yeah, and that's a good point. We do have trucker hats. You folks need to be getting some of these things.
We've got a bunch of styles.
They're awesome.
And they look cute.
Yeah, I got one on with the
Yeah.
patch.
Yeah.
With the patch.
Yeah, that one. I like that one. That one's pretty. That's classic, right?
Yeah.
And then we have some Boko hats.
I like the Boko. I wear the visor like every run right now.
Yeah.
I like turning it around because it has the stripes on it. So when
Yeah.
people are looking at you, it looks like you got those 70s headbands on.
Oh yeah, John McEnroe style, right?
Right. So yeah, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, what else we got? We got something new that we're going to be having on the website here.
We'll jump in. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. There's two things. There's two things that jump to my. There's three things. One is the Eric and Joel swimsuit calendar for 2017.
That's gonna be so hot.
Yeah, it is
so hot.
And then I think we should do an Antarctic calendar where we just put as many layers of clothes on as possible.
I thought we were going to be out here in the middle of the winter with our mankini on.
Yeah, I got to lay off the ice cream for that. So what one were you talking about?
All right. So
was it the one we talked about yesterday with people that's going on the website with links, or is it the one that we talked about this morning?
Which was the same thing as yesterday.
But
all right,
different.
so let me cut to the chase, all right? So besides buying hats.
Oh, okay, this
right?
is the one I was
Besides
hoping
buying hats, there's another way you can support the podcast.
Oh, wait, this is the one.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Go for it.
Podcasting isn't cheap. I mean, besides the bus breaking down all the time, we need to pay for hosting, which, we did a good job of that, covering that through our Kickstarter.
Yep.
But we're already looking forward to next year. And how can we support the podcast, right? Because we need to pay for hosting, we need to pay for business fees and other
Candy.
stuff, right? Candy to lure people into the bus.
Yeah.
So our good friends at Ultra Aspire have set up a program where if you buy their gear through our website, they'll give us a little bit of a cut, which is a cool way to support the Trail Manners podcast.
Yeah, we're an affiliate.
We are an affiliate,
Yeah,
right?
that's what they call it.
So we're going to have a banner somewhere. I just don't know where yet on the website. I'll figure that out over the weekend. And if you like Ultra Aspire products, and you should because it's good stuff and it's a good company, you can click on the banner on the Trail Manners website. That'll kick you over to Ultra Aspire, and you can make a purchase there. And that helps us out. So we're going to use those funds just to basically pay for basic necessities of hosting the show and the website.
Yeah.
So
can we talk about the other one too?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's the one
Go for
that
it.
they came at and you were looking up stuff on your phone.
I feel like you just needed to go for it. Just tell us what it is.
I can't believe you don't remember. It was only like 30 minutes ago.
I'm getting old, man.
Okay, so I came up with this idea yesterday. I'm a huge fan.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
now these eyes lit up.
Oh, yeah. And you're going to like this, Steph.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm
and
excited.
it came
Yeah.
with you too. So
Yeah.
I came up with this yesterday, and I hope it's not out there because then I'm going to feel like a scam, but I didn't do my research either. So I love trucker hats. That's all I wear. I pretty much don't. I get haircuts just for something to do, but I never do my hair, right? So I'm always wearing hats.
That's true.
And I always wear trucker hats.
Yeah, when you don't have a hat on, I don't recognize you.
It scares people.
Yeah, it
like if
does.
someone, you going to a funeral?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So anyway, and I still wear trucker hats at funerals. But here's my pitch. People are coming out with trucker hats. Companies, people love them. Is it a fad going to go away? I hope not, because then I'll always be out of style after the fact.
No, because it's going to come back around, just like it was in the 70s. They were so big in the 70s.
Yeah, and so here it is. Truckertrading.com.
or something close to that.
Something close to that. So
Yeah.
here's the deal. People can go on to this website that we're going to figure out.
Yep.
And you can trade trucker hats.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of companies, like I see Suffer Better. I love their trucker hats.
Right.
And Boco Gear makes trucker hats for pretty much everybody now. But
Yep.
if I'm a trucker hat guy, but do I always want to buy a new trucker hat?
Do you really need the volume of trucker hats that you actually have?
No.
Is there one out there that you covet more than the others?
Yeah, so people can trade trucker hats, whether
Yeah.
it's brand new for brand new, company to company. Instead
Yeah.
of, hey, I'm going to buy yours, you buy mine. It's kind of
Right.
a waste of time,
Yep.
right? So you can trade. Or if someone like has a cool hat like on the East Coast and
Yep.
someone wants it on the West Coast, it's like truckertrading.com. You just trade trucker hats, right?
Yeah.
I think it should be truckertrade.com.
We looked
Well,
that,
we looked
that was
that-
that was the first one.
We already
That
looked that
kind of
up.
sounds
That-
like trick or treat, which I enjoy.
and we ran out of candy.
That's right.
Yeah, I
but
can't
no,
believe there's no
trucker
candy.
trucker trade was like some Czech,
Czech Republic.
Republic
That's what it means by
website.
Czech.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was like a trucker's website. But I think that's
No.
a cool idea.
I
Because
mean,
I have probably 40 trucker
Oh,
hats,
yeah.
Yeah.
I swear.
Easy.
And I don't want to, you know.
Right.
Sometimes, like, I'm a compulsive trucker hat buyer. Like, I see
You
one,
are.
I'm like, I'm on it. Bam, I
Bad.
own it. And then,
Yeah.
like, 2 months later, I'm going through. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot I had this one.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to take a photo of all my hats and have like a digital wardrobe for hats, so I always
Right.
know what's in the.
Ooh, good point.
That might be a good idea. Too.
So I think this idea allows you to kind of curate your collection of trucker hats a
Yeah.
little bit more carefully, so that way you have exactly what you want, and maybe you have something that somebody else wants,
Mm-hmm.
and you can set up that trade, or you can set up where you can sell them. Oh, even better idea.
But see, I just look. It's like, I'd like another hat from X company,
Right.
but I don't have another 20 to $30.
Right.
So maybe they want one of my hats,
True.
the Trail Manners hats,
Yep.
and they can represent us, and we can represent them. So let's
Right.
just trade them.
Okay.
Right? I mean, that's on a business standpoint or on a company level. I think that's a pretty good idea.
It's like trucker networking.
Yeah, exactly. It's like trucker trafficking.
Well,
Wait a minute.
we're not talking about like lot lizards or anything like that.
I knew
right?
lot lizards was going to
Yeah.
come up,
Yeah.
or were going to come up.
Maybe we
yuck.
should make a Trail Manners lot lizard hat.
With this VW bus on it.
That's right. So anyway, that's what we're going into. So we're gonna look into that one. I like that. 'cause
All right.
It's a good idea.
It is a
great
good idea.
And it's fun. So
It's fun, and both you and I just have so much time that we can spend on making another website. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And with me and my programming skills. Yeah.
all right, so let's do it. Let's
Let's
get into it.
So we introduced our guest. She was
Right.
actually, me and Joel were just here planning on doing a show, and a car pulled up. Looks like they were going on a run.
Right.
And we had this like plastic bag full of taffy and Laffy Taffies and candy, and we started waving it, and Stephanie came running over.
She did.
I
Right?
love
Yeah.
candy. I love candy.
No, we scheduled this in advance.
We did.
A whole like 12
Day.
hours.
Yeah, exactly.
But we have Stephanie on the show. There's a lot of reasons we have Stephanie. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, you bring on, this person, that person. And Stephanie has this cool niche for us
She does.
Right.
Yeah.
because we're all about vans.
Yep.
But a moped
Yeah.
is right in, like,
Well, once she got the moped, I saw her get that on Instagram. I was like, oh, we got to have her on the show.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that.
that's a whole nother level.
Did
of-
you see when I had my moped at Even Stevens? Did you just like,
No.
I didn't. That's awesome, though.
That's even better.
yeah. Because I don't know if you know this about me. I'm vegan.
Yep.
But they have vegan food there. And nowhere, like, it's really hard to find vegan food in Ogden.
Yeah, tell me about
So I love Even Stevens. And then we can ride our scooters there and get the Morrissey burrito. And it's super hip.
it. The Morrissey burrito.
Yeah.
Oh, my
I think so, right? The
Yeah.
breakfast
Yeah.
burrito is
Yep.
Morrissey.
Because
And like,
Morrissey's vegan, right?
And you do the
yep.
grad.
And
Did you
Sean
get
has a
all the-
Morrissey tattoo on his
Does
thigh,
he?
which
Oh,
is
wow.
hilarious. So it's just this big.
So do you guys
huge-
get him for a discount then
I-
at that
we
point?
should.
You should show him that.
I should have him wear his shorts in there and be like, come on.
Check it out. This is what I'm ordering.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
Just point at his thigh, and they're like, what do you want?
Yeah.
You're ordering the hairy thigh.
What is
That's only on Friday nights
Yeah.
after 9.
Yeah.
But yeah, mopeds.
She does the moped, and we're gonna. I mean, there's so many things we're gonna come back around to because she
Right.
just took a moped camping trip,
Right.
Which I thought
Sure
was
did.
super cool.
Yep.
It's the best.
But she also, like she said, she doesn't have a desk job. We're right next to the Salomon.
Say it right.
and the other.
The watch.
Yeah, something toe.
Yeah. Jared Clark's toe.
Suunto.
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 Soon, like very soon, and
Like,
toe.
yeah, like get your butt to the finish line soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can use that because I have their watch. So that'll
I do,
make it
I do
easier.
too. So yeah,
But
we both have Suunto watches.
Yep.
Big
Oh,
fans
nice.
of those.
Huge.
Yeah, they're rad.
Right.
I just need one of the ones with. I like the blue and the green one though. I wish I would have had those. I like
Yeah, we'll
color.
work that. That's why we got her on the show.
But she is the Western Rockies tech rep for them, so she travels a lot, and she
Yep.
gets to be a part of some super cool events. You
Right.
know, obviously Salomon is part of some,
Worldwide.
Yeah, and they're part of some awesome events, local stuff,
Mm-hmm.
international stuff, national stuff. So all these different levels, and she's probably got the coolest territory, in my opinion.
My opinion too.
Yeah, Montana, Utah, Idaho,
Wyoming.
Well,
Western Wyoming, which is the only
part of Wyoming.
Sorry to be rude, Wyoming,
Yeah.
but the best part of Wyoming.
It is.
Yeah, don't worry. I lived in Laramie for a while. You're
Okay.
Joel's-
So
yeah.
Jackson Hole,
Yeah.
So
Lander, Pinedale, it's
Yep.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Sure
so
is.
her territory is like what you would want if you're into the mountain trail scene.
Yeah.
Right? And
Outdoor life.
Yeah, outdoor life. And that's who she is. So tell us how long you've been there, doing that gig. Maybe where you came from before that. 'Cause
Yeah.
you said you had a desk job. Like,
Oh, sure.
I mean, that's a huge change.
And still a stellar desk job. I was working for Salomon before.
Oh, okay.
Just in customer service. So
Okay.
on June 25th, I just had my 4-year anniversary with
Nice.
Amer Sports.
Right on.
Amer.
I say that name wrong all the time, too.
Well,
then.
it's an acronym. You can say it however. Amer, whatever.
I just call it America Sports.
Yeah.
America.
Merc Sports. Yeah, that works too. But I was doing customer service for Salomon, Suunto, and Mavic. Oh, and Atomic.
Right.
Too. So Atomic skis. For like 3 years. And I've been a tech rep for a little less than a year. It's kind of unfortunate that the day before I started my job on August 8th, I broke my ankle, my leg. I broke a million little things in my ankle, like my heel bone and everything. So I started day one as a tech rep on crutches and a boot up to my knee, and it was very embarrassing. And at the time, I was the only girl on the team. So I show up, I'm a girl with, I don't know, it was just
Like a broken wheel. And
and I'm just not used to feeling like less
Gotcha.
than anybody, and I was just like, oh man, I really gotta.
I got off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
you
it's
didn't
been
go there.
just a kind of a year of like proving myself and my relevancy, I guess, is how I feel. My team was like super inviting and my boss was super awesome about it, but I just felt like I had to kind of like step up my game and be like, I can still do this job with a broken wing. But yeah, so I've been with just Salomon and Suunto doing the tech rep thing since August of last year.
And backwards a little bit, how
Yeah.
did you mess up your whole leg, ankle, foot thing?
Well, I haven't really told anybody about it,
Oh.
but it was skydiving.
I was going to ask that because I
Yeah.
knew you skied, and I'm like, hey, fractured heel, that's some pound.
Yeah, and the doctor
Right.
was like, well, you've got some fractures here, and like the bone in the front, and the like an inch of my fibula just broke off.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and so it was kind of just like your basic ankle break with a little bit more on that, and then also like all of the tendons and ligaments were just shot. So it's been a long time coming. It's taped right now. I was running down from Malin's like yesterday or the day before and just like tweaked it, and it's always just this off and on dance.
So since then, you've been skydiving with a parachute now, though, right? Kind of switched it up a little bit.
Yeah, that time I was just going with like a
Freediving.
baggy shirt,
Yeah, baggy shirt.
and it didn't work.
Little squirrel suit.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome that you're healing because you're running now.
Yep.
And that sounds like
Yeah.
a pretty. I mean, all the breaks and little things.
Yeah, and my doctor's an idiot. He said 8 weeks, and I'm at almost a year now, and I just barely did my first 50-mile week since I've been injured. So
Right.
it's been long and crappy. Like, I've just been the worst about it, but I'm back,
Yeah, that's
I'd
back
say
to
so.
me.
I
yeah.
think, question mark?
You've
Yeah.
been skydiving since the accident,
No,
right?
I haven't. I've been paragliding since.
Paragliding. That's what you were doing in Europe, right?
Yeah, I did that over Lake Annecy.
Yeah,
in
that looked
Europe,
pretty
in
cool.
France. It was
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you got extra time on your hands,
Yeah,
nothing
exactly.
else to do.
It's beautiful. But I haven't skydived yet. But do you know Canis Hart from Park City?
Oh,
Running?
yeah,
Yeah.
he's been on the show.
Yeah.
He did Western. He used to skydive quite a bit, and
Really?
he hasn't been in years. And we got to talking about it, and we're gonna try to go this weekend.
Really?
Oh, we should
Yeah.
have done a show in the plane. That's right when they jumped.
Yeah, I'm
It'd
not
be a
into
little
the
loud.
skydiving
There'd
thing.
be some feedback.
That's
like-
all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. Some of our shows are like that anyway.
Right.
But yeah, that'll be a fun little PC run co.
Yeah.
Little
Well, we're going to try to be up there
Next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on Wednesday.
To
Is
do some more
kind of our goal
shows.
is to get a couple people on, talk to Canis and Jenna Lynn and
Oh, sweet.
who
Another
else?
name.
Yeah,
Brian.
Tolbert.
Yeah.
And if we can get somebody else up there, that'd be
Yeah.
nice.
So
Oh,
we've
that's
been
great.
up, we went up there once before, had a great time, drank some coffee, just loved the vibe. But that store vibe is awesome.
He's got his liquor license now.
they
Did
had
you see
wine.
that? They have
I
wine.
just saw last night. I
Yeah.
was
Last
going
night
to
they
tell
had
you. I'm
wine.
like,
Right.
my wine radar was going off, and I was like, oh, they have wine there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this a regular occurrence, Canis? I'm
It's
on
like
my
a
way.
Thursday night thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Thursday booked now.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
For eternity. And then also
For eternity.
another little fun plug on Sunday. They're
This-
doing. Oh, but it will already be passed on this post.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But still talk about it,
Yeah.
right?
But this is the FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yeah.
If you guys missed it, I guess there's a group run Sunday up at Park City Running Company every Sunday.
Right.
But this Sunday we're giving away a Suunto Ambit.
Oh, that's right. I saw that.
Yeah.
The Ambit 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What color?
Whatever. I don't know. Whatever color you want, maybe.
Yeah,
I
the
don't know.
green one, the blue one. Whatever color
What is
you
your
want.
heart desire?
Yeah.
What color?
So that's awesome.
Yeah, this.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do
super
a great
cool.
job up there.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I'm like super excited about all the different little like local running shops that I get to go into, because that's kind of what I do for work.
Right.
Is I just go in, talk to the staff, make sure they're comfortable talking about Salomon and Suunto.
Right.
And I've got to know a lot of really cool people in the
Right.
Utah Valley and Montana and Idaho and Wyoming as well. But it's really been really cool to like just talk to the runners in Utah.
Well, because you go to these specialty shops, and I mean, anybody that knows, really, I mean, you get on anywhere, San Francisco Run Company, Boulder Run Company, doesn't matter where they're at. People are passionate about working in those stores, so you have
Yeah.
this bond right when you walk in the door. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, we already share it's common passion,
Yeah.
so let's just
We're total nerds for running.
yeah.
So,
So I'm
let's-
going to
Right.
teach you how to pronounce this word, and let's get going, right?
absolutely, yeah. Super fun.
So you've been doing that for a while. You travel, and I mean, we know you, and know your feeds on Instagram and Facebook. But when you go
Sure.
these places, you just go out on some cool, brand new. This is where I'm jealous, because
Yeah.
me and Joel talk about this all the time.
We do?
We love our trails.
Oh, we do?
We absolutely love our trails. But there's, we'll be running sometimes, and it's like, what's fun is hitting a trail we've never been on.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so this is what you do for work, right? You
Yeah.
like, I guess I'll have to run in Montana. Got my bear spray. Got
That's
my
right.
that was sweet.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah.
Got my huckleberry gel just in case. I can toss that to the side and distract them. You
Yeah.
know. So you get to run on trails that
Yeah.
you've never been on, and it's just the flora fauna is so
Yeah.
different than that was pretty sweet, huh?
That was nice
it's
tech
so
term.
different than what you're used to. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's got to be amazing in itself.
I'm so lucky and so fortunate. Salomon Running is actually building an app right now where, like, ideally you could go, say you fly into Missoula and be
Mhm.
like, I've never been to Missoula. I'm a trail runner. Where do people run here?
That's a
Like,
great
I can
idea.
see some trails from here.
Right.
But that's, like, that content is being created by the tech rep team. So
Wow.
Oh, nice.
I need
You get
to
feedback.
go
You can feed
on
them that information,
3
right?
runs. Yeah.
You need to.
Yeah,
This
I
is
have
part.
to
This is
go
officially
for
part of
work.
your job now.
on 3 runs in every town that I go to. So we'll do
Wow.
like a smaller, like near town distance and middle
Right.
distance, and then a longer like weekend distance. And so it's been really cool just going out and exploring. And then with my Suunto,
Soon.
there's like
So I'll have
yeah.
that down by the end of the show.
I will too.
there's a super cool like track back feature where then I don't like get lost. Because even when I was saying
Oh,
I went
yeah.
and ran like by the Scout Mountain up in
Right.
Pocatello, I was just like, well, I hope this gets me back. You know,
Yeah.
I hope this is a loop.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can always just kind of track back if you get lost. So then I'm just like out there by myself all the time. But
So
I
that
just-
track back, is that a new feature on the watches?
it's not, but it was like not very talked about
Right.
on all of the previous ambits.
Right.
And so we really pushed hard with the Traverse launch,
And
which is
that's
more
the
like an
new one, right?
outdoor watch.
Like newer.
Yeah, and the vertical that I have now is like the newest until we launch whatever
newest.
comes out.
The
yeah.
Spartan that's coming out,
in the fall. Yeah.
right?
I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm. It's out, right?
It's
It's
out.
like
The-
on Instagram.
It's
Emily Forsberg has one. I can talk about it. Tara
Yeah.
has one.
yeah. I
Yeah.
saw Tara when she had hers
And
like
she-
the first day, and I was like all touching them like this thing's so cool. She's like, you can't talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I can touch it, right?
But I can see it and
I can see it and I can touch it, and
Yeah.
like yours is the only one that's like working in the U.S. right now, and it was really cool.
Yeah, super cool.
So
Yeah.
the new cool watch comes out in the fall.
I think it's August is when
Yeah,
they're
so
supposed
like
to
right
release it.
around the OR, the Outdoor
okay.
Retailer Show. That's usually when we try to launch new product. And I think there's some exciting stuff happening at OR as well.
Ooh,
we're
going to be there
with you guys.
With the launch, yeah.
Yeah.
We got to get some badges.
We are going to be
we
there.
need some stinking badges.
I'll be there. Come up. Come out. Come say hi.
We need some badges.
Yeah, we're going to be there talking, scoping out gear.
Yeah, we got some good shows lined up already.
Yep.
We're going to line up a bunch more.
Yeah.
That's like that's like our Disneyland here in Utah. You got the OR show on every August and January, but the August show is just ridiculous.
Yeah, if you're into like summertime stuff, that's the one to go to.
Yeah,
right?
totally. The winter one's a little more low key.
Yeah, it's a little less crowded. Not all the companies come. It's a lot more focused towards the snow. But that August one is just, I get giddy.
Yeah.
You know, that's a gem of a time. So I don't want to miss that this year.
Right. So let's go back to the watches.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, sure.
All right. So one of the things that all ultra runners have been wanting is a longer battery life.
Sure.
Right. And right now it's like kind of standard 15 hours for GPS, right?
Yeah,
For most
depending
of 'em?
on like how much you want it to be communicating
Like
with.
saying 5
like
seconds,
5
1
second
minute.
interval, 1
1
minute
5
interval,
second
right?
or like the 1 minute. Yeah, and the 1 minute's not super accurate.
No.
The peak can do up to 200 hours of battery life on a 1 minute.
Okay.
But that's like you'd have to be, you
moving
could do
really
it.
slow.
Yeah, and I've seen people do it on like the second half of 100 because you're moving a lot slower.
Right.
Some people are.
Yeah, the people
You're not looking at me, are you?
the people I know. No, just kidding. But yeah, and so I think the battery life thing,
So with the new ones coming out, have they been able to extend that battery life for like a 5 second interval? Do you know that? Can you tell us that information?
I actually don't know that much.
Okay.
But I think that's always the goal.
Right.
So I think the 1 and 5 second intervals will be better. Like right now, my vertical does about 10 to 12 hours on a 1 second,
That's really good.
which is good for how small it is
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Because it's like a pretty small casing
Right.
for that battery life.
So if you bump it up to 5 seconds, it'll double, like 30
yeah.
hours, something like that?
Yeah,
Something
maybe
close
like
to that?
25. And then 100 on the 1 minute that nobody uses.
So are the
Right.
new watches just going to be black?
No, there's like so many cute colors.
I'm in.
There's
Yeah.
like a pink and a teal and
Yeah. White.
white, and then there's
blue.
like dude colors
Yeah.
Dude,
too.
I like dude colors.
Dude colors are
Well,
black.
see, here's the problem with
Yeah,
Sorry,
black.
dude.
here's
Black.
here's my problem with I've got the black,
Yeah.
the Ambit 3,
Yeah.
Right.
but the Trail Manners kind of are colors, and my two colors
green.
are blue and green.
Yep.
And so the
Absolutely.
blue one and the green one are super appealing.
I like the green one.
I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, because I would wear that on my left arm, and when I'm driving, I tendency to have my left arm hanging out, and so
Yeah.
you get this really cool, like, hey, green on green.
It's like this
Yeah.
360.
Or when I
effect.
hang over the steering wheel, like cool
Right.
VW bus drivers do, and
Yeah.
kind of mess up their back and neck, you can still see it. So the green would work really good.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of into that
Gotcha.
whole scene.
All right. So I have another question about the watches.
Lay it on me.
All right. So
Joel's grilling you on this.
yeah,
you've
but I've
watched
done
thing.
my homework,
He
right?
has, you can tell.
So the new Traverses that have come out, one of the things that they're saying is the battery, like the charge lasts for 14 days.
Sure.
All right. So my question is that 14 days just on timer or 14 days on GPS?
That's 14 days just as like watch.
A watch.
mode.
Ah,
And 14 days is a little bit like modest,
okay.
I'll say.
All right. So just give it a little buffer, right?
Yeah. I think they tend to do that. Like, oh, water resistant to 300 feet, but it's really
Right.
like, you might as well just say waterproof at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly. Okay.
But I think like on a lot of my watches, it'll go a month. And every time you like take it off at night and set it down, it goes to sleep.
Yeah.
So that's like reserving. If you were like sleeping with it on, it was always moving. That's
Right.
probably the 14 days.
Okay.
But like if you don't wear it to bed, it
Right.
goes to sleep and then
Okay.
it wakes up when you move it.
Man, if I wore my watch to bed, I'd probably wake up with black eyes and stuff. I'd just be whacking
You're a
myself.
thrasher?
I'm a thrasher.
You're a
I'd be
thrasher.
like knocking people out. Cats would be flying against a wall.
Sounds awesome.
It'd be a wreck.
So I guess, we're still looking for that ultimate watch that has like a 30 to 35 hour battery life on GPS.
For the 100-mile distance, too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
30 to 35 hours,
Yeah.
which is the 100-mile distance
Yeah.
for
For some people.
For most people, right?
Well, the peak
It
would do
is.
that.
The peak would
on,
do that.
Yeah.
On
On
5
like a 5 second
second?
fix.
So is
Okay.
that the Ambit 3 peak?
Mm-hmm.
Is what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one already does it. Like I wore my peak on my one and only 100 that I did. That took 29 hours and it lasted the whole time.
What
Right on.
100 was that?
I heard you guys make fun of it on the last podcast. So I don't know.
Buffalo?
Dang.
Yeah.
I didn't know how. Wait a minute.
We don't make
She-
fun of that. That's
Well,
a good-
you were
No.
like,
that's a good hobby.
it's like, because I feel like I can run forever, But as soon as it gets steep, I just lose it.
Well, see,
Most
And it's
people
because
do.
I'm like chubby, I think. I don't know.
Oh,
It's like,
you got,
I don't
you
have
got
that.
nothing on
You got
me.
nothing on Eric.
I don't have that hill
Thanks,
fitness.
Joel had no problem. You got nothing on Eric.
I'd rather throw you under the bus than her under the bus.
Well, I'm sure you weigh more than me, but our BMI is probably the
man.
same.
So I'll be signing off. I'm going to go curl up
Way
in a
more
ball.
than me. Like, wait.
You have to weigh more
Let
than
me-
me. Let me pull that dagger out of your back,
It's-
buddy.
I'm good.
Anyway,
Hey.
I'm really confident, and I don't talk about my weight.
You're the husky fella.
That's what my mother-in-law
Husky.
called me, was
That's
husky.
right. You're the
I
husky
said,
fella.
can I be musky? Because that's like,
No,
I have
that's
some
stanky.
muscle.
That's
I don't care.
stanky.
It's like muscle husky.
No, you don't want to be stanky.
I'd rather be
Isn't
stanky.
musty or musky?
Musky.
Well, musky's a fish,
Yeah,
right?
up here in Pineview, there's a
With
tiger
teeth.
Yeah.
musky.
Hold on.
Joel,
Keep going. I gotta go yell at somebody.
Yeah, there's a little runner dude.
We've got a stalker.
we got a stalker in the bus. We're out of candy. So, man, I can't remember what I was going to say now because we got so sidetracked and
Because I put you down, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
Oh,
gotta-
the Buffalo 100?
yeah, so we weren't putting it down because I couldn't run the Buffalo 100,
Yeah.
right? Because I don't like running fast. Like the guy that just walked up to the bus, he is fast at the Buffalo 100.
Yeah,
'cause he runs.
He came in second at the Buffalo 100.
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
kind
cool.
of funny you said that, but he runs. Like I couldn't run because I'd be, I have to run this. It's flat.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
that's where I can just truck along
See,
forever at like a 9-minute pace,
Yeah.
just forever.
Oh, that's not slow. That's fast.
Yeah.
Well,
and
like
100.
the 100,
Yeah.
it was one of the years it was just so cold. It was like snowing sideways, 13 degrees or something on Elephant Head up there. But I wanted to drop out really bad. That's where I met Rock Horton and Seth Hales, where I screamed at them
Yeah.
and told them to let me drop out, and they
and
won't
Rock,
let me forget
Rock
that.
didn't. Did
Rock like basically picked me up off of my seat and sat me in the middle of the trail and
he?
was
He's
like,
done that to me
Okay,
as well.
see you
yeah,
later.
he's like, you're finishing, and
Yeah.
I'm like, ah. But yeah, I might have like sworn at them and flipped them off, and now, But
But yes.
that battery life was perfect.
Okay. So
Yeah,
let's
go back.
Yeah, let's circle back to that. So battery life was perfect. Peak.
Yeah.
All right. So
fine.
that's what I gotta get, and I think it comes in that nice green color.
Well, you see, and I'm a fan. I just smiled. But you see a lot of that question because I see a lot on social media. People are saying, "Hey, I need a new watch. X watch I had died, or
Right.
I'm in the market or whatever." And that's like a big thing. I mean, when you're looking for a watch, it's tricky because it really does break down to what you need,
Right.
Or because there's so many features on some watches that I would never use them all.
Right.
Exactly.
And there's some watches that I've had that I
Right.
couldn't even figure them out. And I'm not exaggerating. I mean, it's like
Right.
you got instruction, you watch a YouTube video, and it's like, do I really want to push 17 buttons before
Right.
it hits start?
Yeah, I just pushed start.
And so when I
For the
got
love.
Your Ambit 3.
my
Sun
Ambit
2?
3, Sun 2. Why do I say soon?
No,
It's
it is Suunto.
Oh,
Suunto.
gosh, now you just threw me off. Now I just
Suunto
You were
Ambit
saying
3.
Sun 2, and it was hilarious.
Okay, so I'm horrible at this. But when I got that, I was intimidated. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, oh
Yeah, there's
my
a
gosh,
learning curve.
this stuff
I
does
think
a lot.
that Harry, didn't you set that watch up for him?
No.
That you didn't set the Ambit 3 up for him?
No, we talked about it.
Yeah.
But it was like online. It's pretty
Yeah, there's some
smooth when you go
tutorials and-
online. But it's like a couple buttons and you're ready to roll.
Right.
And that's what I like about it. And I know some watches are like that. But when you are looking for a watch, you need to break it down. What do you need it for? Because we talk
Right.
about a lot on the show right now. We got some segments coming up, ultra distances. But there's, people out there that, 5K, 10K, half marathon, trail marathon. So you'd maybe not need that battery life.
Right.
Because you're not ever going to run 50, 100-mile races.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you've got the entry level. I know there's like inexpensive watches, like the entry level brands, right?
Oh,
Not
yeah, yeah.
brands, But
Yeah.
every brand might have an entry level, so there might be stuff there that's, hey, that's really suitable for what I do.
Yeah,
Right.
you're training for a 5K or 10K, maybe a half marathon in
Yeah.
the future, and you want to know your heart rate, things like that.
Right.
Because I don't use heart rate on any of mine, and I probably never will. I'm just
No.
because I'm not a tech person, and I don't know if I want to know if my heart's not working. I think I'll find out soon enough.
Yeah.
But there's also the other curve of, like you mentioned, the track back.
Yeah.
Right?
So
some
nice.
people would
Yeah.
never need that, right? I mean, you're running here, like in front of us.
Yeah, I
and
think
you
it's
know you're-
perfect for trail runners, right?
Yeah.
But maybe not for road runners? Is where you're going?
Well, for even
Oh,
some
and just
trail
people
runners.
that like don't run in new places.
Yeah,
all
new
the time.
places or maybe longer distances to where you might get
Right.
up somewhere where I'm
Yeah.
not familiar. So there's a lot of features on watches in general, not just, from Suunto that I nailed it, that have these. But because I haven't used all the features on my watch.
Oh, I haven't
for
either.
sure.
I just hit start and stop and reset.
And the other thing you got to think about, which is huge, and you read a ton about it, is how they sync, right?
Yeah.
Because I hear a lot of different
sync
to the computer,
your computer,
or your Strava, or your app. And
syncs
I know
to your phone as well.
I've never had a
which
problem
is cool.
with my
I
Suunto.
Synced my run from this morning on the way here.
See, and that's what's
That's
cool.
That's
pretty cool.
way cool.
That's why I like one of the many reasons why this has been my favorite watch. I've used other watches companies in the past, and I would have so many problems. It would just be infuriating.
Oh, yeah.
I would almost have to just enter data manually just to get it
Oh,
done.
yeah.
This is so much smoother, and I know things have changed, but you know the features these offer. I mean, I can't imagine not wearing, or I could not imagine wearing another brand.
Yeah.
Realistically,
Suunto for life.
I really
love
think
'em.
they're just like, we'll always have the big name GPS brand that's gonna just trump us. People
Right.
haven't heard of Suunto as much. But if you think of like a burly outdoor athlete,
everybody's looking at me. Come on.
yeah, just like if you want something that's like durable, total
Yep.
like killer battery life, like there's a definite customer for like a Suunto
Right.
versus any of the others.
Well, you get what you pay for, I think.
Yeah, and it's
right?
quality. They're handmade in Finland. Like
Yeah.
that's legit.
By little
That's-
elves.
Yeah, by
Yeah.
tiny little
That'd be
Finnish
awesome.
elves.
Right?
Finnish elves.
Little Finnish
Finnish
elves.
carpenters.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of two things. But and also
But
being
it's
in the
just like-
backyard of here in Ogden's always nice too.
Yeah, and
Right.
it's cool that we have like our headquarters here in Ogden. Have you tried the Suunto movie? Have you made a Suunto movie?
Ooh, what's that about?
What?
Oh, guys, I'm gonna show you when we're done.
We can make a
Right on.
movie?
It's real sweet.
Me and
It
Joel,
GPS like
no
tags all the
comment.
photos that you take. Yeah, you can put
Wait a
any
minute.
kind of pictures you want in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe we
this
could
is
do
cool.
it. Has anybody
It's
ever
really
done
cool.
a movie calendar?
Oh, I'm loving where this is going.
We can combine the two, right?
I'm a little scared about all this right now.
Suunto will sponsor that.
So how is this charged? So the new watch, is it
Oh,
the
just this
same?
little-
Is it the same? Okay, so that's my biggest complaint.
Is it?
Yeah,
Just that little.
just that little hookup. Isn't there? There's got to be a better way of doing
I don't
it.
mind that.
I just
personally.
got another watch just to kind of test it out.
Different brand.
Different brand.
Yeah.
Just to see accuracy. I wore one on one wrist, one on the other, just to see how easy it was to use. There was a distance I was running that I know is that distance, and it was off. And then it had this big clunky like case thing that you set it down in and charges. And I was like, I guess I've never really looked at how the competitors charge theirs,
Right.
but I wasn't impressed.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I've
This
had a
is so
couple
This is
different
like
brands.
the Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
clamper.
and then I can like charge it in my car.
Right.
It's super easy. I don't have this big like I
Right.
don't know what.
See, and
the
I've had
other ones do.
I have two other brand name
Right.
watches.
Sure.
and they kind of like do the USB type of plug-in
No,
charge.
but they're just the one of them is like this huge long like I don't want to say hair clip, but like potato chip bags. You know how the
Yeah.
little things? It's
Oh.
like half of one of those,
my
and it
goodness.
goes over the whole back of the watch. And I'm like,
Okay.
that's a little extreme, and you
Yeah.
have to line it up just perfect.
Well, you got to line this one up just perfect
Yeah,
too.
but it kind of clicks in. Sometimes
Right.
I miss, and I'll think I'm charging all
But
night.
the
and
thing
then
about-
it's not.
exactly.
But when you do click in with this watch though, it shows you if it's charging. The
Yeah,
one
it
I
does.
had doesn't tell you that.
Oh,
There's
really?
no light. There's nothing. So it's like, is it
Oh.
working?
Right.
Is it doing it right? So
No,
I-
on this one you know because it says M-Sync on it, and you know it's
Yeah,
doing
that's on
it
the computer.
right. But I'd like to think that there's a better way of doing
Yeah.
it right.
There's always probably a better way.
Yeah, there always
And there's
is.
just like,
do you want better battery life or do you want a damn charger that's different?
I want both, man. Give me both.
yeah, we want it all.
Yeah, I want the
That's
better
how we
battery
We're
life.
American.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
We want it all. We want it fast. We want it cheap.
I want it now too.
Yep.
No, yes.
And I don't want it to catch fire in my pocket. So,
Did that happen?
now the watch.
Something else maybe.
So I don't know. I think that's one thing, because we talk about it a lot because we do like to do gear reviews and
Right.
talk about gear. But this is actually one of my favorite pieces of running gear. Like
Mine too.
When I put it on, I feel totally
This
legit.
and my spry, my
Yeah.
spry pack. Those are like my two things that I
Yeah,
have to
me,
have.
it's the watch and the Trail Manners visor. You can get those online at
Ooh.
trailmanners.com.
That's true.
Trailmanners.com.
Yeah, you gotta wear the visor backwards. He is so right. You look like total '70s
Yeah.
tennis star. It's so
Yeah.
You
awesome.
step
Smacking
out of
it
this
up.
thing with
Yeah.
your like tennis
yeah.
star visor
Everybody's
on.
like-
They're
Yeah.
like,
You got
Shorty
that-
shorts.
You got
What just
that funky
happened?
music, bow, chicka, bow, bow, ching, bow, as you get out of the van, right?
and probably
right.
like real short shorts and tall socks.
Oh yeah, yeah, the tall tube
I don't have
socks.
any short shorts, and there's a lot of reasons for that.
All right, so let's talk. Let's change directions.
Yeah,
here
I
a
thought
little
you guys
bit.
had like a list of
We do.
things,
We
but I
do.
feel like we just talked
Let's
about
talk a
Suunto
little
forever.
bit, like
Sorry.
a little more gear, right?
Oh, sure.
Joel's a gear junkie.
I am.
times 50.
I had such a problem that this was back when I used to live in Jackson. I had an account at a local gear store, and it was like if I needed something, I can go in there and just put it on my account. It got ugly.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Yeah. It was bad. I used to have a bad problem, especially with jackets. Oh my gosh.
There's
You had a hat problem. I had a jacket problem. It was ugly.
I'm okay with the hats are a lot less expensive.
Yeah, those jackets were $450 each, man. So what's going on with shoes? Anything new coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
something you can talk about? Anything tasty?
Just July is now, so
It's upon us. We can talk about, right?
So for fall 16,
yeah.
which starts July 1st, there's the Speedcross 4.
Okay.
So for years and years, it's been Speedcross 3.
Right.
Pretty dope shoe. It's iconic. Solomon's #1 trail running shoe.
Okay.
But we made a couple changes. We dropped the side of it, so it's like we widened the throat, so it's a little bit more accessible. Like you can get your foot in it a little bit better.
It's always good.
Is that a technical term?
The throat?
Yeah, the throat.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it is.
Nice. Well, because right when she said, I knew what she was talking about, though.
So where's that out in the shoe?
Like the mouth,
Okay.
where you put your foot
Right.
in.
Okay. I
Throat.
just wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page there.
Well, you got the tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like all the shoe tongue, so
Thank
you got
you.
the throat. Right?
Thanks.
All right.
He's on
And
my
you put
side
your
here.
you put your
Yeah.
foot all the way into the esophagus.
Tickle your toes on the old. I don't want to say anymore.
Amdula oblongata.
Gross. But yeah, there's a couple of changes on the Speedcross. The lugs are a little bit firmer.
Okay.
We did wet traction. So a lot of people had said that like if you were on wet slick rock, say like in Moab or something,
Right.
the lugs didn't perform as well as they would have hoped. So we updated the Contigrip outsole.
Oh, nice.
And
all these terms
there's
out
some
here.
gear for you.
Yeah.
So it will perform on all surfaces a lot better.
Okay.
But there's some cool new things. So you mentioned Francois, I think. Did you?
No, Xavier.
Oh, right.
Professor X.
Professor
so
X.
in the past with our S lab, so we have our lab in Annecy, France. I just got back from.
Right.
And we've always worked with like Killian and all of our athletes, but real big focus on Killian. The Sense Ultra has
Right.
been like his Western States shoe. But we just kind of noticed like Killian's 5'4", 125 pounds.
Yeah.
Like how many you are about that size.
Oh man.
But
now I'm getting called short. I am short.
I
I'm
was
okay
gonna
with
say,
that.
yeah, I'm like, well,
I
I
know,
guess
I'm
I should just
5'7",
leave body image
5'7".
stuff out of the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
But we started working with Francois,
Yeah.
and he is 6'4",
Holy cow.
170 pounds, maybe 165.
So more
Right.
like my build.
So
Yeah.
he's real tall, dark, and dreamy.
Yeah.
But it's just more, it's like more of the consumer base, I think. And
Right.
so we have like the S-Lab wings that came out that were more geared towards him. It's more of like a 9mm drop, a little bit more stable, a little bit more cushion,
Okay.
bomber rock plate in the front.
Right.
And then the Sense Ultra that comes out pretty soon here.
Ooh, what's that about?
It is the best. It looks the best. I haven't run in it yet, but it's kind of like going away from. It's a more traditional drop. The
So
Sense
like-
Ultra was a 4mm drop.
So like
This
a
will
10
be
or
like
11,
an 8.
something like that. Okay. Is it-
An 8 or a 9.
right.
But just a little bit more cushion, a little bit more, a little bit more shoe,
Okay.
but still super lightweight.
So how's that compared to like the Sense Propulse? Is it
The-
similar?
No, because the Propulse is, I call it Propulse, but it is our take on a maximal cushion shoe.
All right.
So it's got a pretty hefty stack height.
Right.
Rock plate. It's pretty stable, pretty wide.
Right.
It's got a nice wide toe box. The new Sense Ultra will be a little bit more nimble. It'll be a little bit more precise fit.
Okay.
Less of a stack height.
Right.
Still a ton of cushion, but it's going to be a race day shoe, so it's going to be a lot lighter
It's
weight.
not a trainer.
No, yeah.
All right.
But I think that there's a couple of things coming out on the S Lab side of things that are really exciting.
Right
So for me, when I first started trail running, I wore the XA Pro 3D.
Sure.
Right
Yeah.
when and this was 10 years ago, and
Sure.
I absolutely love the shoe.
But
What I noticed, it was super overbuilt for what I was doing, but it was
Yeah.
comfortable until I got in some other stuff. I love Salomon shoes, but what is in the line for, because we have all the nimble stuff out there, like you
Right.
mentioned, for Killians and these speed merchants and everything
Yeah.
else, but what about like more of your, I'll throw myself in the mix, but I'll say everyday runner, but maybe
Right.
something a little more stable that's not, 14 ounces or anything like that
Yeah.
has some cushion to it that you could wear on a 50-mile, 100-mile trail run, and for a 6'4", maybe a little bit heavier than 175 frame, right? Because
Yeah.
everybody's going max.
I know, and there's got to be that sweet spot, like
There
right
is.
in
Right.
between, right? There's a shoe coming out that was, if you're familiar with the Sense Mantra,
Mm-hmm.
that was a pretty good shoe. The newer version of that will be called the Marin. Is that what it is? The Marin Valley?
Yeah.
Oh, in California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that shoe will have it has a little bit of like a rocker feel to it.
Okay.
But it's that sweet spot right in the middle. It's not the max cushion because we'll have the Sense Max shoe, which will be called the Max, I believe, Sense Max. And then the Marin, which will be like right in the middle, I think just like a perfect stack height for, the average everyday training runner.
Shoe. Okay.
And it's got a rock plate in the forefoot. It's a 6 millimeter drop. So I think it's like right in the middle of being traditional and low, the lower drop. But that one, I believe, will be spring.
Okay.
So
2017.
Yeah.
Okay.
But really, really cool stuff coming. I'm just really excited. For a long time, I only wore 2 shoes in the line. And now I find myself like just wearing a lot more. And it's just exciting because I was like only wearing the Sense Pro and the Sense Ultra. So I'd train in the Sense Pro, race in the Sense Ultra.
Okay.
And now I'm like, ooh, the Mantra. Ooh, the Wings. Like the Wings has been my shoe. That's what I did my birthday miles in.
Nice.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I saw you on your birthday run.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So, because I know when we go, like right here, a Mirror Sport down here in Ogden, there's a little shop, and you go in there, and you kind of get, there's a lot of shoes.
Yeah, there's tons.
Lots of shoes, because you look at some companies, and they've got, and I'll throw them out, because I like them, like you got Pearl Zumi, you got the N1, the N2, the N3, M2.
Yeah.
Right? So, in the trail side, you may have 3, 4 choices.
Sure.
Ultra, they just came out with the Lone Peak 3.0. They got the Olympus. They've got the other shoes. So you got like 3, maybe 4 shoes in the trail line. But you go to Salomon, and it's like,
it's all
boom.
You get lost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
There's so many shoes.
Yeah, I've noticed we have like shoes very specific kind of, and that's kind of been, I think that's been something we've done for years, and we're starting to make, I feel like it's starting to be more like, okay, this is going to be like a quiver killer in a sense, where you don't need your
3 pairs of
your
shoes.
14er shoe, you don't need your light trail shoe, you
Right.
don't need this shoe, that shoe, this shoe.
One shoe that can almost do it all.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think that like with the Sense Pro, we nearly are there. And then with like the Marin and the Max coming out, they're more of just like, if you run in a Max cushion shoe, this will be your one shoe.
Right.
Gotcha.
Perfect tread for anything that's around here.
Okay.
Perfect cushion, rock plate. Where you don't need like this, my speed cross is for this, but some people do, they run the speed cross for everything.
Yeah.
Right.
And so just having the different, I think we're narrowing it down and being more of like speaking to the masses.
Right.
Which I don't think have done in the past as much.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, because, you have got these athletes that kind of, like you were saying, you built the shoe off of Killian. Well, not a lot of people can do what he does. Or
right. He's the outlier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's this like golden egg. But
yeah, he's the golden
because
child.
I haven't found
He's the unicorn.
I haven't found a one-piece lycra suit that I can wear yet like that, because his is white, from shoulder to
yours is gonna
really
be silver.
high thigh.
Oh yeah, or gold, silver, gold.
His is gonna be silver.
I'll be silver.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a birthday coming up this weekend.
Oh,
and we've
cool.
got him.
Tomorrow.
We've got a single.
Oh yeah, now I know where you're going.
Yeah, you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, a little baton twirling.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Eric's gonna get himself a birthday suit. It's gonna be
Yeah.
silver. It's gonna be one piece.
Gotcha now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I need a suit.
Yeah.
So that's what the Salomon needs to come out with, is the everyday trail suit.
The silver everyday trail singlet.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
One piece.
Yeah.
One. Yeah.
I'd
I'll
like
send
to
a note.
shove an ice bag in the front, like people do, in the chest to keep
Do
you
they
cool.
do?
Oh yeah, when I was out at Western, first time I really came
Oh.
across Killian, he didn't carry water. He just had this little white onesie.
That's right. The see-through onesie.
Yeah, and that was intimidating to not like, hey, what's up, buddy? Super
Avert
fun.
your eyes.
And I
Was
got to
that
hang
the
out.
first year that he ran?
Yeah,
Yep.
and I was hanging out with the Salomon guys.
Oh, cool.
They didn't talk a lot. They were filming him, obviously, and I was running with the Pearl group. And so
Oh,
we
cool.
were kind of like, we had Nick Clark and a few runners, so we were hip-hopping each other. And
Sure.
It was kind of fun, but yeah, it was interesting. So, next up.
Yeah. Next up, what we got next?
We got to get going. I know
Yeah.
she's got things to do, but real quick, we talked about you being an ambassador of all things cool, even. But you're involved. There's some stuff coming up, and I apologize, the show's going to launch. But there's a Women's Trail Fest, the
Oh, yeah.
Wildflower coming up,
This
and it's going to be
Saturday.
tomorrow, July 9th. But you're also involved with Otessa, is that right?
Yeah, with REI.
So when you guys going to come out with like an all dudes race? I'm feeling left out because
I know, isn't that kind of
it's
funny?
like women only, no fellas, and I'm
Yeah.
like, where's the all fellas race?
I want to go run tomorrow up at Snow Base, and I'm like, oh dang, they got that Trail Fest going on.
Just
I
for
don't want to
fun?
be the dude
Yeah,
that's interrupting the Trail Fest.
especially because I know you'd probably run without your shirt.
Yeah.
That'd be weird.
No,
That'd be
I'm not
weird.
that dude.
Well, aren't like most things geared? I just think most things are geared towards men.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah. So we're
Yeah.
in the same field as men all the time, and it's like, oh, I got first female, but like it's cool just to have like a women's only thing and be like, I got first.
It is.
You know.
What if you were the first male and now a female thing, though? Could that happen?
No.
It'd be weird. You'd
We-
be lost.
Yeah,
Well,
it'd be
because
weird.
you do, and I think it's really awesome because we've had a lot of great people on the show and a lot of women, and it's a little bit different, obviously, for women when you're talking trails when they go out
Mhm.
alone. You got creepers and you got
Total
some
creepers.
animals and different things. So it's really cool that
Yeah.
there's so many things coming out geared towards women because some of the women we talked to, they were like, well, when I got into trail running, I didn't know who to run with. I was
Right.
conscious of myself because I'd never been on the trail. I
Sure.
didn't know where to go. So when you see these, and she's dope twos and, all these things that you're a part of, it's really cool because it seems like it's bringing more people to the party.
Yeah.
That they may be on the fence or, that whole comfort level.
Well, it's just another avenue for women to get involved in the outdoors,
Yeah.
right? And
It's so powerful.
It is. It's
hugely
empowering.
powerful.
I can't tell you enough. Like, so a couple of years ago, I was skydiving all the time. I was doing like a lot of dude stuff. I had a motorcycle, and I noticed like all of my friends were guys, and
Right.
I was like, I don't want to be that girl that's like, oh, all my friends are guys. So I
Yeah.
like made a New Year's resolution to make more girlfriends.
Right.
And my closest girlfriend, Sadie Gleave, or no, ooh, ow, dude, she's gonna kill me for saying that. That's her. That's the worst. Sadie Clifford, who owns Grounds for Coffee down on
Yeah.
25th Street.
Oh, yeah.
She was like my first girlfriend, and she told me, I think just once, that I was like intimidating, and it was really confusing for her that I was like insecure because she's like, outwardly you are like intimidating. You have a motorcycle.
Right.
You have all these tattoos. Like
Yeah.
you seem confident. But then like she knows me well enough to be like, oh, you actually are like pretty insecure, and it's weird. So I was like, yeah, that's funny. I need to like step out and like reach out and make friends. And now I'm like, all my friends are girls. Like I'm like almost weirded out to like talk to guys. Now I'm like, oh, they're gonna think I'm like flirting with them or something. I don't want to talk to them. But now I'm like hanging out with all these girls. But the first couple of times I am an ambassador of fun. But
Yeah.
I'm also an ambassador for And She's Dope Too.
Right.
Which people are just like trying to make a name for themselves. all
Right.
the
So
time,
tell us
and it's
about
kinda
that real
weird.
quick.
'Cause that's local.
That's
Started
local, yeah. Her and her husband live out in Roy. That's where I live as well. And it's really, really cool. At first, I wasn't sure. I thought it was just like pretty girls that do cool things too. And they reached out to me, and I was like, oh, I don't think I'm your girl. Have you seen me? But I was like, yeah, I like to have fun. I like to do things. But I didn't really realize that there were I don't mean this to be rude, but I didn't realize there was women out there that wanted to do the things I was doing, but were too scared.
Right.
Because I've just always done it. Like I've just winged it. I'm the youngest, and I've just been like thrown in the mix, and just if you think something looks cool, just go do it. But so they kind of like reached out, and I had just finished the Antelope Island Buffalo 100, and so that was kind of a cool moment where they were like, oh, she's like does cool things. But I got on board with them I think like a year and a half ago, and it's been really cool. So we'll go out and do group hikes or group runs, and it's basic. Like some of the women have never been trail running before. Some of them have maybe trail run a couple of times, but they're like, how do you do it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's like this shift in my brain where I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess at one point you do it for the first time. And, it's like, well, keep your eyes forward, like lift your feet a little bit more, just be aware, and just getting women out. And it's almost like the first, second, third time, then I see them on Instagram just out crushing.
Right.
Like, I don't know if you guys know Melissa Salomon, Chicks Run Utah
Oh,
on
yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
She, I feel like, came out to a couple of them, and now she is like trumping.
Is
She's
She's
just
on
like
peaks
out
and
crushing.
everything.
Yeah. And just she's doing her own thing, and she's like overcome a lot on her own, and just like is really strong. But I think just to see women go from like being intimidated to like fully confident is super cool.
To crush and
That is.
making guys intimidated by what
Yeah.
they do.
It's
Realistically.
so
Yeah.
exciting.
So this morning, or yesterday, Eric shows up to
Yeah.
to run
5 a.m. here
at 5
at
a.m.
22nd.
And I'm sorry, I didn't make that one. I didn't set my alarm. But he gets here at 5 a.m. And sometimes the parking lot is full, sometimes it's not. And Eric gets here, and all of a sudden, Seven cars show up.
Yeah.
Seven, and they're all women. This is not
Yes.
the first time it's happened.
No.
And they are like super chatty, and boom, they take off and they crush it.
Yeah.
And we notice that's happening more and more.
More and more.
And
Cool.
it's so awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
But it's a lot of what like you're doing and your groups you're an ambassador for. Because I know you had the little, I won't say little, that's probably a bad word, but you had your little women's and she's dope too getaway to Moab, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
so
wasn't
was
little. That was
huge.
huge.
that was huge. That's why I said I shouldn't use little, but that was
Yeah,
huge.
that
And I
was
know
amazing.
that there's a couple weeks ago there was a women's retreat up in Park City.
Park
Oh
City,
yeah,
yeah.
Janae did with
Yeah.
Utah Running.
UtahRunning.com. So they did that. So you see more and more of that, and it is me and Joel. We're veterans of the trail here on
We are.
the shoreline, and
Yeah.
now it's just there's groups of women all the time out here.
all
Yeah.
the time,
And so it
just
makes me
crushing
and
it.
Joel have to run more.
Yes.
Because we'll be
so
hiking and we'll hear
exciting.
some people come down to Cormac. Dude, we got to run.
Yeah, you got to run.
Here comes people.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
And you know it's funny, back when And She's Dope Too was kind of just getting their bearings, we were getting going, I want to say there was like a picture of it was definitely like a week where I had climbed Owl Rock down in Moab. It's like a multi-pitch, maybe it's just one pitch, but I'm standing on top and I'm like, feeling pretty powerful. And that same week, a girl had like kind of lurked all of the ambassadors on And She's Dope Too and called us like a bunch of soccer moms. And I was like, dude, I wish I was a soccer mom. Have you seen like some of these ladies out here that
Yeah.
have 2-3 kids that
Yep.
are out at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Just
doing a
killing it.
20-mile run going up Ben Lomond, and you're
Yep.
like, I don't need to get up before my kids or anything.
Oh,
like,
yeah, so
I'm
good
not
point.
as motivated.
So it was either yesterday or the day before. Tara Warren,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Ashley Maudsley, and
Kenzie.
Kenzie, Barlow. They went up and did Ben Lomond before work, before the kids got
Yeah.
up, right?
And
That-
Ben Lomond,
That's 16 miles
16
round,
miles round trip. And
4,000 feet of climbing.
Yeah, you get up to
And they're on the
9,800.
summit at sunrise.
So on the
Yeah.
summit at sunrise. So they're out there crushing it.
So
Yeah.
They're all part of this kind of this new movement, this new wave of
Yeah.
like And She's Dope Too, and the Otessa, and all these other super empowering groups, and it's so awesome to see it.
Well, I know 10 years ago, soccer mom meant something, right?
It was
There
kind of like a derogatory
Yeah,
term.
and I think
Yeah.
she was trying to like put us down, and I just
Right.
thought the women I know that do have this full plate,
Right.
they just put more on their plate.
They do.
It's so impressive.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
it's so awesome.
Well, and see, here's my problem is I grew up a soccer guy. I played 6 days a week growing up from little kid to college.
Yep.
And my mom was obviously a soccer mom.
Oh yeah, but you
But
didn't call
she-
her soccer mom. She was just mom.
Well, not only that, but soccer mom to me is like a queen, right? Because
Yeah,
she
they've
put
got
her life on
take
hold to make
everything.
sure I'm
Yeah.
at practice in Salt Lake, that I'm at a tournament in Colorado, that I
Right.
can, we can afford to send me to a camp in California.
Yep.
So for me, every time when people say soccer mom, I'm taken as like a hero, and people are like, no, it's not what we mean. We mean like a woman that does this or that. I'm like, well, that's not really a soccer mom, man.
Right.
So, and now you see it, like you
Yeah.
just mentioned. I mean,
and that was like a burn, but then I was also like, whatever.
yeah, yeah.
We're out there doing it. Don't like put down the people that are out doing it,
And that's
Right.
and that's what it is. I mean, because I'll tell you what, I have no problem saying a huge amount, and I'm not gonna do a percentage because there's so many. These women do a lot more than I do.
Oh yeah,
You
definitely.
know, and people
Yeah.
are like, "Oh, you run 100 miles." I'm like, "Yeah, but you should see these people." You
Right.
know?
It's
And we-
pretty funny. Sherilyn Trayer,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
and her sister and Tara Warren took out a group of girls in Moab.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, they can go for miles and miles. And so they weren't worried, but they kind of got a little off track. And they went
Ooh.
out for a maybe 12 or 13 mile run, and it turned into 26.
Oh my gosh. Didn't
But
hear
I
that
was like,
story.
my
That's
friend
awesome.
Anna was with them, and I was like, I don't know if she has enough like food and stuff.
Right.
If she planned for 13 miles. But I was like, that going back to like the soccer moms being like on point, having everything
Being
dialed, I was like,
prepared.
oh, they'll take care of her. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
And it's like they're just prepared. They're super smart. They're thoughtful. They're caring, and then they're also just crushing
Right.
Yeah.
all this
So,
stuff.
the podcast is going to air, and the Wildflower is
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not Pedal Festival anymore. It's just
Well,
like is it
yeah.
like a trail fest now?
It is. It's
'Cause
Trail Fest. It's like
originally-
Wildflower Trail Fest.
Yeah, originally it started off as kind of like this biking thing, and then it's morphed into it was like
evolved
it was
into-
like mountain biking, and now it's like this encompassing just outdoor thing for women to go do. So that's already gonna be in the past after the podcast.
Yeah,
so the
the
next
bike
thing,
stuff's today.
right? So the next thing is Otessa, which is
Oh, yeah.
going to be the weekend of Wasatch, right?
Right.
So it's going to be the second Saturday of September.
Yeah, it's like the
I-
9th and 10th,
something like that.
something like that. I have
And that's at Powder Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's up at Pow Mau. It's going to be pretty.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about that? So you're going to be involved in that, right?
I am. Yeah, I'll be there with Solomon.
Okay.
Stevie Kramer, who is one of the
Oh,
Solomon
yeah.
runners. She'll
She's
be there
fast.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as I know, she'll be there.
We need to
kind
do a
of
podcast
leading-
with her.
Yeah, maybe we can get her in here.
Yeah. We can drive the bus up there.
kind of candy does she like?
Yeah.
Yeah. Swedish fish. No, wait. That's me. But we'll be out there, and I'm actually meeting next Thursday on a call to find out more details. But
Okay.
as far as I know now, women can either like camp or get a cabin.
All right.
And it's an all-inclusive, like s'mores, beer, wine is included, food. They just kind of show up, and
Yeah.
it's like this big range of women from, maybe novice to expert,
Okay.
just getting together. And
So
really,
what are the activities that are going on besides s'mores and beer?
And wine.
that's
and
all I
beer.
really cared about was the wine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
drop the mic, walk away. Running,
All right. Some
hiking,
trail
I'm
running.
sure.
Right.
Mountain biking.
All right.
I believe there's going to be like some kayaking or paddleboarding.
Ooh, of
Involved.
course. But Pine View right
Yeah.
there, naturally.
And the website, they have a really, really cool information, like kind of website on rei.com.
Okay, so we'll
The
have a
OTSF,
link to
but-
that.
Yeah, it seems really exciting. And the Anshi's dope too. So that one, REI, it's going to be pretty pricey.
Okay.
And I think they get a lot of yoga too, because they get like a free prana mat when they sign up,
Okay.
I believe. So a lot of stuff going on there.
All right.
But the same weekend or really nearby there is the Anshi's Dope 2 retreat up in Ogden Valley as well.
Oh.
So a lot of really cool opportunities for women to get together outside.
I like it.
I know.
That's so awesome. So
It's
we'll,
gonna
we'll
be
have
real-
all that
real cool.
information on the website, so you can check that out.
Yeah.
All right. So what else we got, Eric?
That kind of, to me, it rounds out
Yeah.
most of the info that we're going to bring in and
Most
talk
of
about.
the topics.
Yeah.
Is it time for?
Yeah, we're going to do this because people love it. It's maybe
What
me and
is
Joel
it?
love it the most. Maybe.
Uh-oh.
It's just a little lightning round.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
funny. I was going to say lightning round. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
no one uses that nerdy term. You do.
Man.
No, because I use it.
It's quiet in here. All this, we're like,
No.
"Oh, we're fat and short and nerdy.
No, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I'm such a jerk. I do Jeopardy at my clinics when I have to like teach people about Salomon
Right.
shoes. I get bored of just like talking at them,
Right.
and I'm sure they're bored to death listening to me.
Sure.
So I've made like a nerdy Jeopardy board.
Okay.
And at the end, when there's like 2 left, I call it lightning round, which I don't really know.
Sure you do. You're probably just saying that.
No, I
now.
really
She's
do.
recovering well from
Beep, beep. She's
Yeah.
backing up,
Yeah.
right?
I'm a total.
So, yeah, we're
Nerd.
going to change
Sorry.
the name and now after this show from
Yeah.
lightning round
No,
to...
I love it.
to
I'm
the
sorry.
to the Steph or something like
we'll
that.
call
I
it
don't
like the nerdy questions are coming at you round.
know. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So we're gonna throw these at you, and you just kind of off the cuff
Okay.
and no particular order. So I'll let Jill start.
I'll try not to talk too much.
Top 3 beers.
Cold, free.
My order would be replaced on that one.
I
All
had
right.
one the other day, like a Citra.
Oh, Citradella?
Yeah,
Citradelic?
the
New Belgian.
Yeah.
IPA
Yeah.
Yeah.
one I really liked.
Tangerine IPA.
That one's good. That's a good summer beer.
I've been drinking a lot of those hard ginger ales,
Those don't count.
but
We're
I've been
gonna edit
putting
that.
like whiskey
Yeah.
in them and making them like a Kentucky Mule
gosh.
or whatever. So
Okay.
that's bad.
Fair enough. Okay,
Um,
let's move on to the next
'kay.
one.
Whiskey is my favorite beer.
Okay. How do you like it? Straight,
I like it straight.
double.
Yeah.
Cold.
Cold. Gosh.
Do you listen to music when you run?
I used to. I don't really anymore.
Man,
Okay.
we're failing bad.
But I listen to Beyonce and Meghan Trainor.
Okay, that helps, right?
Yeah.
If
that
I
helps.
do.
We're gonna say guilty pleasures.
But
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
that
On
is
that.
guilty.
That is for sure.
Yeah.
And all right, so here we go. What's your advice? You're in the scene. What's your advice to a new trail runner? Not ultra runner, not male, not female, just a new trail runner. Someone wants to get on the trails. What advice do you have for them?
Have fun. It's supposed to be fun. I feel like too many people like take themselves so seriously. My first rule when I am like helping do like a demo run or something is just rule number 1, have fun. Like, I don't know. That's
And
all.
bring the shoes back.
Yeah. And bring the shoes
Yeah,
back.
that's right. So I think it's a good thing that people don't have the smell of vision because they'd be smelling the skunk right now.
Yeah, there's
You getting that?
Something's
Yeah.
going on. I feel like there's been a lot of skunky smell like
Yeah.
the last couple of days everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's definitely a skunk near the band right
Yeah,
now.
so we got to keep our eyes peeled.
Skunk
Yeah.
season, folks.
Oh my goodness. All right, so next question. Favorite Star Wars character?
Pass.
Uh-oh. You don't watch TV or movies or anything?
Dang, man, we're failing bad.
Well,
all right.
kind of. I don't like.
Okay, how about this? Beard or clean shaven?
Ooh, I'm in a pickle.
You are in a pickle.
That's not an option.
Well, I appreciate a beard from afar, but I'd rather kiss clean shaven.
All right,
Okay.
fair enough.
Makes sense. Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram?
Instagram. I'm a visual learner.
What was your first ultra you ever ran?
Oh,
Race.
gosh, I don't remember if it was the Antelope 50 or the Copper Canyon.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you did that Copper Canyon, huh?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
It must. I think it was the Antelope one. Yeah, I think that was my first race ever. Actually, was the Buffalo Run 50 miler.
So if you could pick one person, past, present, whatever, to run some trails with, just pick their brains, have a conversation with them, who would it be?
Ooh. I feel like I should have something really like profound to say.
No, it's just whoever you would want to pick. They could be like your favorite Star Wars character even.
But then I'd have to watch Star Wars. Crap. My gut reaction was Jen Shelton.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
That'd be a fun conversation.
That
Yeah.
would
Be
be.
a fly on the wall for that one.
Kind of have a weird thing for her.
Yeah.
Oh.
Another show. What is your preference, a morning or evening run?
Morning.
Morning?
Mhm.
You're a morning person in
Yeah.
general?
Yeah, I was nervous when you wanted to do the podcast early because I'm annoying in the morning. I have too
Oh.
much energy.
Well, Jill gets to bed at like 7:30, so we got to do it. I mean, it's lunchtime. 9 o'clock is lunchtime for Joel.
Nice.
All right, guilty pleasure food. You feeling kind of stressed, you know? How do you deal with
Nachos.
that?
Nachos?
Yeah, I think
Nice.
so. I eat Mexican food like every single day.
All right.
Definitely.
Every single day?
Yeah. I call 'em all meals burritos. But I love nachos if I'm feeling like real crummy.
What's your
Big
favorite Mexican food?
Tacos. I don't know. What do you mean?
Like what?
No.
You like
Nothing.
burritos, tacos, quesadillas? I call them quesadillas or fajitas.
It's all like the same thing in a different presentation, right?
Right?
Yeah, it is.
And being vegan, you're like, you got to be creative. And
Right.
we are, and I am. But I think tacos.
What's your creative
Soft tacos.
vegan meal, creativity-wise?
For tacos?
You sure?
Maybe like some grilled tofu or like some pineapple in there or like asparagus or zucchini or whatever. I don't know. Just whatever's in the garden.
Eric's favorite vegan thing lately has been cabbage steaks.
Cabbage steaks?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
It's so good. There people like I've never got so many negative comments on
Right.
something I've ever posted, which, you know, it's not a big deal. I got 4 comments, but they're good.
They look
So
delicious.
you throw it on the grill?
I
Yeah.
do. You cut them good. You put some olive oil on them. Well, I did, and you put some seasoning, whatever
Salt
you
and pepper.
prefer. This was salt and pepper, and you put them on a grill so they
Yum.
get and the outside, the very outside, gets super crunchy
Yeah.
and crusty.
The inside is soft.
Oh man, they're so. And I
Mm-mm-mm.
put a little sriracha on them.
Oh, yummy.
yeah.
I really love grilled bok choy, and that's probably
Ooh.
the same family, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
it's close.
Yeah.
Bok choy is like celery type of family,
Oh, okay.
right?
But
I
they're
don't.
vegetable families.
Yeah, they're both vegetables and they're grilled, so I'm into it.
So it's all the same thing, right?
Dang
okay,
it.
so let's spin this back around. So why are you vegan?
Because I love animals and I feel bad causing any harm or pain.
Okay,
Like
For
we've done
me
to me and
to-
Joel's soul
Yeah.
today.
I am really sorry and sad about that.
she's not, folks. If we were
I'm
furry,
just coming out wrong.
we got beards.
we got beards, and that didn't even count. Dang.
I love beards. I love you guys. I'm sorry.
No, we're just giving you a hard time.
We're just having fun now.
right.
We'll
I
feel
feel
bad.
crummy.
We'll feel bad later.
All right, let's wrap this up.
All right. So if someone wrote a biography about your life, right, what would it be called
Ooh, who's gonna play you too?
in a movie?
In the movie, Reese Witherspoon's going to be me.
Okay, I could see
Just
that.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
I've heard people say that I look like her, so I'm going to just say, hell yeah, I look like her, and she's going to play me.
Okay.
And it would be called, oh my gosh, something.
Something.
Vespa vegan.
I don't know. It'd be really
V
boring.
squared.
I think moped. No, there's already like a moped diaries out there. I think.
Is there?
I think
Yeah.
that's the mouse.
Oh,
and
we
the
didn't even get to talk
motorcycle.
about scooter camping. Guys.
Yeah. Gosh. Man,
Anyway.
we need to do another show.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought I was going to talk about fun stuff, but instead we talked about watches.
That's fun for
My
us.
movie would be
My fault.
called. Well, do you guys know Brandon Dace down at Runner's Corner in Orem?
Yeah.
He calls
Nope.
me Captain Fun.
Oh, okay.
All right, there it is, Captain Fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
Hashtag. Name of the show.
Captain Fun.
Yeah, if I can wear a cape.
What color would the cape be?
Red.
Gotcha. Would you have a
Salmon
symbol?
red.
Would you have a symbol like have Superman, Batman, Captain America?
Probably
Would
a
you-
lightning bolt.
like Flash.
Flash. Yeah.
Oh,
It's already taken.
been
It's already
done.
taken,
You'd have
yeah.
to have a Vespa.
I'd have that little
V.
emoticon of the girl doing this. with
And
her
she's
hand.
got her hand flat next to her face, like she's holding a tray of drinks, maybe.
Yeah.
But I
whiskey.
think the girl's like
Whiskey.
fixing her hair.
Oh.
it's probably a plate of whiskey.
Yeah.
Tray of whiskey.
Tray of whiskey.
Tray of whiskey.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That'll be on
the
Favorite
back.
favorite type of whiskey. Don't
I
say
like
free.
that high. Is it the High,
High
West,
West.
out in Park City?
Yeah.
I
that's
like that.
Good.
It's good.
They have like a campfire one. Have you had that one?
Oh no.
Oh, so good.
Yummy.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you my whiskey story because it's pretty funny.
Okay.
So I grew up on John Wayne.
Yeah.
Like my dad, my middle name's Wayne.
Oh,
that was
cool. I
supposed to be
didn't
my
know
name. My name when I was born, my dad wanted to name me John Wayne. No lie. So my birth certificate, and my mom and dad fought. So my first birth certificate, and I have proof, says unnamed male because they couldn't decide on a name for me. So I have 2 pages to my birth certificate.
That's
So they fought
amazing.
because that was my name, and so obviously my mom's like, no, that's not gonna happen.
Right.
Which I wouldn't have been against. But anyway, so my middle name's Wayne. My dad's middle name's Wayne. So I grew up on John Wayne, and it was the coolest thing as a kid when they
Right.
would go into the saloon, give me a whiskey, right? And so when I was like 7, my goal in life was to be a whiskey drinker.
Yeah.
Okay. So I finally got old enough. I started getting these little like curly hairs on my chest, and I'm like, I think it's time, right? And
Were you like
so-
11?
I was 27, and I was a late bloomer. So I'm like, I'm doing this, man. And so
Going for it.
I did. So
Yeah.
I don't even remember where I was. I'm like, I need a whiskey. I'm like, what kind? And I'm like, the kind they drink in cowboy movies. I
Yeah.
said that word for word.
Yeah.
The guy looked at me like I was an idiot. He probably gave me like amaretto sour
Oh.
or something. No, he gave me a whiskey.
Canadian Miss.
Yeah, he gave me a whiskey, and I thought I was gonna die. And I've gone through maybe 5 or 6 stages in my life where I'm like, nope, I'm doing it. This was my goal in life.
You were destined.
I'm gonna drink whiskey. My God, I cannot drink whiskey.
The first time I ever got drunk was whiskey, and I was like, ew. I had to like take a break for a while. I didn't drink it for a long time.
I wish I mean that sounds bad. I mean, I wish I could be a whiskey drinker. I mean, I'm
Right.
a parent, but I
You're,
did.
you're
I
an
wanted.
IPA guy.
I am, and I've tried
Ew.
other avenues, but I can't. You're really moving down the list on
No,
me.
I mean, ew.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I can't drink whiskey. And I've even tried another route. Me and a good friend, Scott Jaime, we coached college soccer. We got to be cigar connoisseurs for a while.
Right.
We were really deep into like legit cigars, not like backwoods or stuff like that.
Not Swisser Sweets.
Yeah. And so we were in Minnesota. We were, I don't know, back at this
You're in
tournament. maybe.
backwoods, Minnesota.
Yeah, probably. And so we're like, no, we're going to do, what do you have when you drink cigars? What drink do you have? Everybody know his?
Whiskey.
Whiskey.
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah, bourbon.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
That's kind of
yeah.
like something you have with
Right.
cigars. So we're like, let's do some bourbon. And we're
Cool.
at this cool place. They, come out with this cool bourbon, and oh my God, it was the worst thing I'd ever tasted. And the people that served it to me and Jaime, and we're like, dude, this cost us like $12 for
Right.
just
Oh, yeah.
we got to drink it. And I'm like, no way. And they kept coming back. You don't like it? And we're like, no, we're just
We're just sipping it.
enjoying it. That's
Yeah.
what you do, right?
Yeah. Just
Savoring
sniffing
it.
Just sniffing it.
Oh man, and a brandy sniffner. But we ended up giving them away because we didn't want to feel like we were not
You're
men.
sneaking behind the,
We
the
were.
waitress's
Well, I'm
back.
like, I'm not pouring this out. So
Yeah.
there were some guys playing pool. Like, dude, you guys want this?
You want this? You want the seconds?
And I'm glad it was a long time ago because otherwise they probably thought we were gonna try and roofie them,
Yeah.
offering them these nice drinks. But 15 years ago, that
Yeah.
was
That wasn't.
that wasn't in.
That
right?
wasn't
in.
part. Yeah,
So
but you're
anyway.
still from Utah, and they're like, God, what are these guys trying to do to us?
Yeah, man, they're from Utah. We're in a minute. We'll drink it.
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. We don't need to drink it. Let's party. But that's my whiskey story.
So
Good one.
Kudos to you.
we missed out on talking about mopeds.
Yep.
Yeah. So we need to have her back on the show again.
Yep. Because there was a moped trip to the Uinta Mountains, which
Right.
I was so jealous. Because I was in Yellowstone like the week before, so I just was on my camping mojo.
Oh
Right.
yeah, super sweet.
Yeah.
I do want to just say real quickly, like of all the cool things I've done, like this month I went paragliding in Annecy, France.
Yeah.
Like I've done so many cool things in the last couple of years.
Got into 78 Volkswagen bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's up there.
Without candy.
Yeah.
Without candy. Like, I just willingly got in here.
I know.
Which is really weird. But that was, like, the coolest thing. Like, maybe, I don't know, top 3, maybe the coolest thing. And it's, like, the most recent. But just scooter camping, who knew? It's,
Yeah.
like, the coolest thing ever.
Well, and they took back roads to get there, so it took longer because, you know, you're not taking, like, the freeways and the big areas. So
Ooh.
what's going on?
His phone's too hot. It died.
Um,
But yeah, super fun if you guys get a chance to go motorcycle camping or scooter camping or like bicycle camping, because we've done that like down
Yeah.
the coast or whatever. But man, it was so fun and so cool.
And that's part of, even though we're about the van life, that's a cousin. The moped is a cousin to the van. Not a lot of people knew that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something I could be saying on the show. They're cousins. They're in the same family, like bok choy and
Yeah,
cabbage.
it's that like vintage cool. Mine's a 1968 Vespa. Well, that's
Wow.
not what I took up, but
What
this
color
is
is
a
it?
1978. So I have a 1968 cream-colored, beautiful Vespa that Sean blew up the clutch on when I was in France.
Mhm.
So I get this text, "Sorry, babe, I got some bad news." But then I came home and he had bought me a Stella as an interim.
Oh, jeez.
So I have like a mint.
Does he want to drive my bus for a little while?
So you can get an interim bus.
Yeah. So right now we have 3 scooters at the house,
Oh,
2
nice.
motorcycles, about 10 bicycles,
Right.
and then this beast of a car, my personal car and his car.
You
It's
gotta
just a
have
mess.
something reliable, right?
Oh, and a dinghy. Yeah. So yeah, we have all sorts of like just things going on over there. But yeah, if you ever
Transportation.
need to borrow a Stella or a scooter,
Nice.
you know where to find 3.
Photo shoot for a calendar.
Yes. I like that it keeps coming back to that, and I'm going to be disappointed if it never happens.
Hey, we need to make some money, baby.
That's right. We gotta pay for this podcast somehow.
You guys can take we have a little dinghy out. That'd be adorable.
Oh, yeah. Like
For like
Tommy
June
Boy.
month. No.
Which is my favorite movie of all time, Tommy Boy.
Of course.
So, you know, it hurts me to wrap this show up.
Because it's fun.
This is a
I
fun
mean, we're
show.
an hour and a half into the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry,
This is our
everyone.
longest show ever.
It really is.
But it's
Edit
been
out
fun.
the part where I used my friend's last name wrong.
No,
Thanks.
No edits in this show.
definitely not, because you definitely hurt our feelings multiple times.
Yeah, we're
I'm
leaving those
so
in.
sad.
You'll see the volume raise on those sections
Yeah.
throughout the podcast when I mix it. But
Right. But no,
Sure.
it's been fun.
this has been great because there's
Thanks
a
so
lot of
much.
a lot of good info. You know, not for gear. You know, because that's what we do a lot of
Right.
stuff of, but also fun.
Yeah.
A lot of cool stuff. Don't forget the Hardrock 100 contest. That's going to be legit. Keep
Yep.
your eyes open for the truck trader stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget about Ultraspire if you're interested. You know, Joel will get that up.
Yep.
You know, soon, hopefully.
This
And,
weekend.
Yeah, this weekend we check that out.
That's really cool.
You know, to kind of help us out a little bit.
Right.
You know? And also, don't forget about our gear. I'm always. It's not just I'd like to see where Trail Manners gear goes. I've seen some
Yeah,
cool
that's fun.
photos, but it's fun because you see like a burrito shop in Sun Valley, KB's
Right.
Burritos.
Oh yeah.
They'd have like shirts of people in the Himalayas,
Right.
and beaches, and
Brad Sween's been
Belize.
doing a good job of getting our stuff out there.
Yeah, and so I'd like to see, and even Isaac Gallegos been doing a lot too.
Yeah,
So
right
I'd
on.
like to see more of that because it's just fun.
It
right?
is.
And that's where we just want to have fun. That's what this is all about. So anyway, don't forget to check out the links to the show. A lot of cool stuff that
Right.
Stephanie's involved with, Ambassador of Fun. You know, the women's stuff that's going on. You know, get involved. It's super cool stuff on all fronts. You know, we've had Tara on. She's involved with it,
Right.
and a few other people. So, yeah, let's wrap it up. Stephanie, thanks again
thank
for
you.
taking time to join us on this. We're definitely going to have you back on the show, not just to talk about gear that's coming out, but your other adventures, because
Yeah.
I'm sure you have stuff right around the corner. So thanks for jumping in the bus and taking the challenge.
Cool. Thank you so much for inviting me.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great week. Thank you for listening to the Trail Manners podcast. We'd like to thank Stephanie Gardner for taking the time to join us in Studio 78 today. We'd also like to encourage everybody out there to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Trail Manners, or swing by our website at trailmanners.com. As mentioned before, we got some cool Trail Manners gear that you can get your hands on, as well as a link to Ultraspire there to help us out, keep funding the show, keep things going. You can also hit us up on the contact page. You can let us know what you want to see, who you want to hear, or if you would like to be on our show. Until next time, this is Eric Manning with Joel Hatch reminding you, you don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for. Now go get it.